Hello.
Are you following us on Instagram? Have you got your phones? Vous avez votre móvil? Nos están siguiendo en X, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Everything that is about to happen is going to be live. We're going to be live. So if you want to share these with anybody in your countries, then you can share the live streaming. We are also on Instagram. Nous sommes en Instagram. Nous sommes a X. Estamos en X en Instagram. Por favor, síganos. El handle es @AfWID Africa. @AfWID Africa. You can also follow all the women who are doing their business in their market. On peut suivre la femme qui fait de business au marché. Podemos seguir a todas nuestras hermanas que están teniendo sus productos en el mercado. Pueden compartir en sus historias. Vous pouvez partager en votre histoire @AfWID Africa. AfWID Africa. @AfWID Africa. AfWID Africa. Thank you. Please, everybody, can you start coming in? Can we take our seats? We are about to start our program. S'il vous plaît, rentrez à la salle. On est au bout de commencer. If you are outside and you can hear me, please join us and take your seat. We are about to begin. If you are seated and you are following us on X or Instagram, you can show the live stream of whatever is about to happen right now. Please follow @AfWID Africa in all your social media platforms and check @AfWID Africa on YouTube, where this is about to be live streamed. Thank you so much.
Hello, African women. Women power. Can I hear power? Women power. African women power. African women power. African women leading. African women leading. May I ask you, beloved sisters, to stand up? As we start this second session, please, may you arise. Thank you very much. May you arise. You can put a full stop on the telephone, on the mobile phone. There was life before mobile phones. There will be life after mobile phones. So don't you worry. Please, may I ask again that you arise, and the teams at the back. The teams at the back. I have teams at the back that are not standing. My sisters, I ask respectfully that we stand. If you can see me, please clap once. If you can't see me, clap twice. Are you sure? If you can see me, clap thrice. If you can see me, clap above your head. If you can see me, clap above your head. Thank you for all the women coming in. Thank you very much. My women sisters, I want us to hold our breath for a second. I want us to hold our breath for a second so that the silence in the room can build us. Is it possible that women can hold their breath? For how long? So I want to count up to 10 as you hold your breath without saying anything. Is that possible? Okay, so let's go. 3, go, hold. Woo! A big clap to you. DJ Jason, may I request my 2 words on the screen? My sisters, look around you. Look at the person sitting next to you. Tell the person sitting next to you that, hey, God can create. Thank you. Those are the thoughts I have as I look at you. As I look at you from up here, I'm thinking, but God can create, okay? May I ask that we hold our breath for another 5 counts, because now we go to the next step. If you are not paying attention, hold up your hand. I see you. May I count and ask you to hold your breath for 5 minutes? Can you do it for 5 minutes? Women can do it for 5 minutes. We can't be silent for 5 minutes. Okay, can I ask that I count to 10 as you hold your breath and I introduce you to your next segment? And as you hold your breath, look at the person sitting next to you, because you will have to hold their hand. Okay? So hold your breath. I will get you to hold your breath. Look at the person sitting next to you, because you will have to hold their hand. So 3, 2, 1, go. Hold your breath. How are you talking and you're holding your breath? Thank you very much. Keep standing, keep holding hands. I want people to hold hands even across this line, even across this divide. Please, could you hold hands even across? Women must reach out for each other from Cape to Cairo. So hold hands even across. Please move together and hold hands even across. Please move together and hold hands across. As I wait for our spiritual guide, Buni, to come in, I want us to start with gratitude. The Maasai people, my people from Eastern Africa, they say only 2 words in gratitude. They say, Ashe Enkai. Repeat after me, Ashe Enkai. Ashe Enkai. I want you to Ashe Enkai with your hands up as we give thanks. So Ashe Enkai. For all the women in this room, Ashe Enkai. For our foremothers who created and gave birth to this continent, Ashe Enkai. For our foremothers who gave birth to mankind and made Africa the Alkebulan, Ashe Enkai. For our foremothers who came together 30 years ago and went to Beijing because they had to speak about our issues, Ashe Enkai. For all the youth, the young people who are coming in together to take up the mantle, Ashe Enkai. For the power in this room and for the spiritual movement in this room that is tightening the power of women, Ashe Enkai. For the gratitude that we have because we are born women and we would not want to be born anything else, Ashe Enkai. Ashe Enkai. Ashe Enkai. Ashe Enkai. Thank you.
Go on, go on. Just go, yeah, just sideways. Oh, some go up a bit front. So, the dream. We started with the dream. We went to love. We went to peace. We went to Nana, the inner child being. We went to connect with Nana, to nature self-love. We went with that cup full of the love within me, within each of you. We went and we built connections with each other. We started by building connections with the sisters who were in the circle with you in the last one piece of 2 days each. And through them, we connected with each and everybody, each and every woman in this room. Through them, through you, we send love out into all sisters in the world. Through them, with us as the collective, we send love to every human being on this planet. We send gratitude to those who have come before us, to those who guide us in whatever your belief system. We drew on that as we wove to make the impossible dream come possible. So there's not much to say today. Healing is about challenges. Nothing happens that should not happen, however painful or however joyful. So, there were some hiccups yesterday. Can we just do what we said to do? Actually, those hiccups came to humble us, to learn the lesson of forgiveness. It would have been very easy to point fingers, but for us who went through this 2 days of healing, we took those as a gift for us to start practicing what forgiveness means, for us to start doing rituals of forgiveness, forgiving me, forgiving others. Most of the time, people talk about forgiving others or forgiving things, and they forget to forgive themselves. But actually, what we should be doing, our last sentence when we've done our ritual, it is, I forgive. It's not about forgiving anybody or anything, or I forgive. So this morning we started by a ritual, closing off the past. Forgiveness for me is not the same as forgetting. Because forgiveness for me is taking the lessons of what I'm forgiving. I should always remember those lessons and water them and move forward with them. So that is the forgiveness ritual we did this morning as we left our feet. No, I do not mean that you are now amputated. Do people still have their feet here? No amputation. But as we said goodbye to our feet who represented our past, we danced with the hand of love, with the hand that has touched babies and nurtured them, with the hand that has painted love for those we love, lovers and others, with a hand that has touched the soil and felt it, Mother Earth, and planted on it through seeds and nurtured those seeds to come. And you are some of those seeds that came here. So without further ado, I could never have done it alone, although I was invited to the stage alone. I did it with a team of 60 women, mostly from South Africa, if we are to go into nationalism. Majority are from South Africa in all its manifestations of what those who divided us called them race. So we came in front of you in all our colors, in all our forms of being as South African. We also had sisters from Southern Africa, which I find ridiculous actually that it's different countries. But what can we do? Botswana, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then we are so strong that we decided we must expand. So, do you know where this comes from? Anybody knows? Have you seen it before? Can you shout the name of the country? I was crowned with this by the group that we walked with this morning. They have no clue that we also summoned a Kenyan to come and be one of the healers. So in this team, we have a variety. Have I left any splinter out? Rwanda. Colonial splinter. And then we decided, hey, there has been some problems in some parts of that part of the world, so we also brought Rwanda. Are there any Rwandese here? Where was she? You see? We also brought Uganda. The only thing I did not achieve was to go to the west and to the north. But we tried. So please, can you give a hand? There is no way I could have done it without these people here. I want to thank you. Many of them will depart today. We'll stay with a very small team just to hold in energy healing and in African traditional wisdoms and in other ancient wisdoms of the world. You cannot open something this big and just go. So, and yet, on the other hand, we are controlled by resources. So we will stay as a small team in the mornings, 6 o'clock, early risers. Of course, if you've been doing your stuff the previous day, it's going to be very difficult to get up, enjoy it. But we early risers at 6 o'clock will be in a place called Boma. We'll be there every morning at 6, and we will be doing conscious movements, stroke dance, stroke meditation of different kinds, just to close the space. And at other times, you may see us in your sessions or not, but we'll be around. Just know we are around. There are some sisters we've already made appointments with to meet when you are not going into sessions. Let us talk. Okay. It's not goodbye.
Thank you, Winnie, from all of us for the gift.
Oh, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have done it.
To you. Thank you.
The Maasai.
Continue. Abazange bambo. Abazange bambo. Where are you? Where are you? Abazange bambo. What is happening here? Abazange bambo. My sister, let's sing. Look. Abazange bambo. Abazange bo, abazange bambo. I'm getting it. Okay. Abazange bambo. Are we together? Are you okay? Abazange bambo. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Abazange bambo. Wonderful. Another round of applause for our healers, please. Another round of applause for our healers, please. And we say, Asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana. Asante sana. We thank you. We thank you. Asante sana. Shukran sana. Add yours. Shukran sana. Another one. Shukriya. Shukran. Shukran. Huh? Akiba. Uh-huh. That one, Murokoze. Those are our people. Thank you. Murokoze. Somali. Mahatseri. Thank you. Who else is here? Asante sana. I am here. My sister, I can't hear you. Zikomo kwabiri. Yes, Zikomo. Thank you. Asanteni sana. Yes, please. Egypt. Okay, thank you. Salama sana, shukran sana, asante sana. Zikombo, Murokoze. Thank you. Ingalebuka. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Yes, Ghana, yes. Akwaba. Thank you, Ghana. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my sisters. Thank you, my sisters. In 5 counts, please hold your breath so we grow stronger. 1, 2, 3, hold. I said hold your breath. Hold your breath. In 5 counts, hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, hold. Thank you, thank you. We are still connecting. We are still reconnecting. May I call upon our sisters to come forward. Brahma Kumaris, you are welcome. We are reconnecting. The energy in this room is amazing, as it is wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I greet you with peace, an ancient greeting which says, Om Shanti.
May we be silent, please? May we give our sister grace and just allow her to continue? May we please be silent? Let's give her grace as she leads us.
Okay. Sorry. Om, which means I am, that eternal self. What my sister Buni and her team did for all of us was to help us connect with that eternal self, that inner self. And Shanti, Shanti means that eternal self, its true nature is of peace, is of stillness. And so we've raised our energy very powerfully, but we're going to harness that energy, which is our God-given gift, in a way with silence. with stillness. Because when we find that place of stillness in our hearts, it brings us clarity and it anchors us. Many times we have the experience that life is like a storm. There are many winds, a lot of energy around us. And how do we create a way to be stable when there are so many changes and such storms? It is really, my sisters, by finding that stillness within you. And so to find that stillness within you, we have to create that space. And for the last 2 days, we had that space, but it's a space we need to continue creating for ourselves, where we go within and nurture that seed of silence within ourselves. Because when we connect with that essence in ourselves, very naturally, we will connect with each other. Language doesn't become a problem when we connect at that level of vibration. We connect with the earth, because even the earth connects with our vibrations. It's the very essence of who we are. So I'm going to take you through a process to just really turn inwards, look within you, and connect with that energy within you. So let's just take a moment, sit comfortably upright, and take in a deep breath in. And gently breathe out. Again, breathe in deeply. And breathe out. Our breath connects our minds and our hearts. So when we breathe deeply, our mind begins to calm down, and our hearts begin to feel content and still. So just with each breath now, allow yourself to relax. Let go of any tightness, any strain in your body. And as you just feel your body relaxing into the chair, feel that silence growing in you. Feel that peace growing in you. I am peace. It is the very foundation of who I am. It is how the divine has created me. I am peace. And feel that quietness. Feel that energy of stillness from deep within you, filtering outward. The peace that I am helps me to create the world of peace. Who we are leads to what we create. And we all know that we want a different world. And that that different world can only be created as we together collectively creates this new way of being. Because the way we are is what creates the energy around us. So as I feel that peace within, know that that peace anchors me, stabilizes me, allows me to really feel that truth within. And when I feel stable and anchored in this truth, then from deep within, there's a natural feeling of gratitude and love. Love is the highest expression of the soul. Love is why we are here. Love is our truth. When I am love, I see love. I draw out love. I make connections. And that's what gives me value. That's what gives me a sense of my own worth. When I live from a place of love. And as we are here together, just know that what we feeling together is creating a wave of pure energy, a wave of power, pure spiritual power, a wave of transformation. We have sown a powerful seed together, and this seed will move out, ripple out. It's not just in this room. It's just not only on our continent, but in our world. We are recreating our world from the place of our own spiritual true nature. We are divinely created, which means that we have that essence of purity and light and love and peace. And that we're not alone in this journey, but the divine, the energy of the divine, the hand of the divine is upon our hearts, protecting us, giving us that courage, and guiding us as we collectively co-create the world we want, of love, of peace, of joy, of harmony, and natural benevolence. So I invite you for a moment, just to take a moment and be still. Feel this power. Be this power. And share this power of light, of love, and of peace. Of light, of love, and of peace. Thank you, my sisters. Best wishes, Shakti.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't have bad news. I have good news and good news. Which one do you want? The first good news or the second good news? The first good news is that you will go for lunch shortly. The second good news will come in a proverb. There's an African proverb that says a child who is not shown love at home will burn the village to feel the warmth of love. And because of that, I am calling on you to show love to the children who are coming up now. The children of positive vibrations. The children who want to show us what they know about 30 years of Beijing Platform for Action. Why this is important for you, and it must be important for you, is that this afternoon we are dancing through Beijing. Did I say dancing? So if you are in high heels in the afternoon, you might want to remove them. Are we together? I want us to put our hands together in support of these children and what they have come to show us. So that they are children who feel the love at home, that they don't have to burn the village. Okay? Positive vibrations, you are welcome. A big clap as they come. Mali bongwe, Mali bongwe, Mali bongwe, Mali bongwe, Mali bongwe, mabaya makosi kasi Mali bongwe.
It has been over 25 years since the United Nations Fourth World Conference on Women held in Beijing, China in 1995. The Beijing Platform and Declaration for Action remains the most comprehensive global blueprint for women's rights and empowerment. The platform and its 12 critical areas of concern with a product of a complex consultative process at regional, national, and global levels. It was a product of consensus, carefully hammered out, close to 2 years period at regional preparatory meetings. The 12 critical areas of concern, the advancement of women and the achievement of equality between men and women are a matter of human rights and a condition for social justice, and should not be seen in isolation as a woman's issue. They are the only way to build a sustainable, just, and developed society. Empowerment of women and achievement of equality between men and women are prerequisites for achieving a political, social, economical, cultural, and environmental security among all peoples. We women of the world, we women of Africa, we women of South Africa, we believe that a successful society invests its best resources and hopes in the success of its women. An unsuccessful society ignores or matches the future of a girl child. Women are the future of our species. How a society treats its women is a direct reflection of how that society looks at its future. The Women's Bill of Rights proposes right for women that all adults on earth should honor and respect these rights so that we may help create a very best future for ourselves and in turn our own children. A moral and competent society is one that respects and opposes the rights of its women. A society that fails to do so is immoral and incompetent. Women and the media.
The media plays a significant role in shaping societal perception and attitude towards women. Women's representation in the media can either perpetuate stereotypes and biases or promote diversity, includes and empowerment. Women and the economy.
Women participation in the economy is crucial for sustainable growth, development, and gender equality. Benefits of women economy: increase GPT, produce productivity, enhance social development, increase productivity.
Economic empowerment, financial exclusivity, caregiving responsibilities, limited access to education and training. Women face labor relations, social names, and that limit them to their opportunities.
Thank you.
What does it mean to be a girl child?
Being a girl child means being decent, unique human being. It means being strong in character, but balance a sense of fairness and compassion. It's about believing everything is possible, regardless of life obstacles. The resolution said that the Day of the Girls recognizes the empowerment of an investment in girls, which are essential for economic growth, the achievement of all Millennium Development Goals, including the eradication of poverty and extreme poverty. Violence against women and girls hurts women and girls and hinders the ability to strive in multiple ways. What I did not say, I was never told. I never said it, but I listened. I was never told to say it's enough. I never said what I wanted to say. To say, listen. Listen to the sounds of women screaming and shouting for soundless help. Ah! Umlilo! Umlilo! Uyasha! Uyasha! Salamanti! Salamanti! To say, listen. What I did not say, I was never told. I never said it, but I listened. To every sound and soundless silence that influenced me to say, it's enough!
I was never told.
I never said it, but I listened.
Not long ago, women faced tremendous barriers as they sought opportunities that would set them on an equal footing with men. Keeping women and girls safe from the Start Act, which helps protect and empower women in this situation and empowering them to use their voices of change, actually benefits the security of an entire nation on the world. 5 reasons why empowering women leads to more peace and stability, showing that it's not only the right thing to do, but the smartest thing too. Countries that treat women and girls better experience less conflict. When women and girls participate in peace negotiations, the quality and duration of peace increases. Gender equality promotes economic development, which helps prevent war. Women are often the first ones to notice rising tensions in their communities and can moderate them before they escalate. And lastly, when women are in leadership, there is even greater chance of peace in a country, and female leaders can help moderate with more gender equality. Violence is a threat to life.
It takes away the fundamental right to life, liberty, security, and dignity. Gender-based violence is one-sided violence that is perpetuated by a certain gender. It creates inequality, discrimination, and it kills your physical and mental integrity.
Gender peace and security is to increase women's visibility and participation in peace processes, strengthen protection mechanism, and incorporate gender equality. We need external and internal peace and security. Women are the priority for the world to succeed. The way I cried, the way I cried, the way I cried, the way I cried. He pierced and penetrated through my breast, straight to my heart, right like a needle of the same kind. That man used to torture women. I cried unconsciously as to brutalize my innocence. I cried.
And you supposed to be my brother.
And you supposed to be my cousin. And you supposed to be my uncle.
And you supposed to be my backbone.
I cried unconsciously as to brutalize my innocence. I cried. I wailed and wept in the state of trauma. He tattered my clothes and forced me to spread my legs. Repeatedly, 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 repeatedly. He ripped me apart. The way I cried, the way I cried. Yes, I'm a woman. Yes, the tears are my tears. Why leave me with scars that made me to ask myself always, why me? We cried, we daughters of men being victimized by evil souls of men. Evil souls of men. The way I cried, the way I cried. Women and girls don't understand feminism as a movement to liberate us from the struggles we face. They don't understand who to fight, how to fight, and what to fight for. Alongside our male counterparts, our anatomy is to be obedient, follow orders, surrender, don't question anything, bear children and nurture them. After all that is done, you are considered a cheap price. You are considered shapeless. You are considered to be ugly. Uneducated mother. You are considered a fool. You fool! No! Blinded species! You are conceived wrong! Made wrong! Made wrong! It is wrong for me to say what I wanted to say. To say, it's enough! You fool! No! Blinded species!
Education and training of women. Education is essential for women to teach gender equality and become leaders of change. Educated women benefit entire societies, contributing for flourishing economies and the improved health, nutrition, and education.
Education and training are also tools to help change harmful gender stereotypes. Ensuring girls have access to basic sanitation, dignity packs is crucial in preventing them from falling prey to exploitation.
The lack of sanitary towels and the proper hygiene facility can lead to girls missing school, feeling embarrassed, and become vulnerable to abuse.
Empowering girls through education and access to basic sanitation is essential for their well-being and future prospects.
ndithi ngalo mthi ndifuna uhlambe umdaka ungcolile ndithi ngalo mthi ndifuna ukhupha isinyama I thought you were a virgin. You are going to marry a rich man. The only thing you need to keep is your virginity. Hlamba nompatshasa. Hlamba nompatshasa. Hlamba.
When culture was born, life became a lie. Through all the paranoia and selfishness, forcing me to open up myself for all evils, to conduct false experiments, forcing me to submit to hate, cruelty, and power, forcing me to submerge underwater for all evils, to proclaim purity and cleansing. When culture was born, life became a lie. The things that you are taught to protect, your moonshine, your starshine, and your sunshine. That is femininity. The make or break if broken we fake. The concepts that makes you whole. The key aspect of any man's pride is your virginity. Yet once broken, the make or break if broken we fake. It destroys our souls. We are women of God's consciences. We are more than what is between our legs, more than the carriers of eggs, more than the blood that pours. Whether we make or break, if broken we make again. You don't belong to him. You are yours and yours alone. When culture was born, life became a lie. The day that I left my home to join the Lutulis, my father took me by the hand and led me around the family cattle ground. It is where the living call back their ancestors and communicate with them. My father called the Ngolosi ancestors saying,
Sibiza nina abakapengu nongwabile. Sibiza nina abakatabazane nosihi. Sibiza nina abakashongololo nolamula. Sibiza nina abakangwane nomepho. Sibiza nina abakankungu nondlonkolo. Ngaphambi kokuthi sihlanganise lemindeni abakaphengu nabakaluthuli kumele sibike edlozini ngaso lesilwane futhi ngaso lesilwane sokwakha ubudlelwano obusha futhi usukelwe silamazulu obonisa isivumelwano salamshado hamba kahle nokukhanya amabhengu uyosakhela ubuhlobo obusha kwaluthuli eGroundville uziphathe kahle. We have 6 girls. 6 girls. Now it must be a boy. It must be a boy. Ingwengwe, kangasiyo ngwengwe, ayiwo wami, uyandiva. Enowinile, tata. Enowinile, tata. Ingwengwe naleyo, ayi tata. 9 months of deep shit.
The doctor said, but don't stop having children. I am putting myself and the child at risk.
You have the nerve to tell me what the doctor has said. What about what I have said? Enowinile, tata. Enowinile, tata. Ulana lagqirha wena. Hayi tata. Ulana onke amadoda aphela lini. Andihlekayo. Hayi tata. Enowinile, tata. Enowinile, tata. Ndithi phuma. Ndithi phuma. Undibuyele nendlalifa yami. Uyandiva. Get out. Wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo, 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 wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokodo. You strike a woman, you strike her rock, you strike a woman, you strike her rock, you strike a woman. We strike her rock. An unarmed woman with self-arrested courage. They took her confidence with their harsh and sharp image. They found her so helpless. They made her to cry. They sent her to hell and forced her to die. But let me say a word full of hope. She made her way out and learned how to cope. A woman, a mother, a wife, with patience she strives, caring, bearing, and working, still struggling with life.
The power of women is immense. The power of women is immense. The reminder of the contribution made by women. The strength that made them march to the Union buildings. They're like a river that flows. And all those who are thirsty can drink. They drink knowledge, perseverance. They drink motherhood. They're like nature. They give expecting nothing in return.
Women and armed conflict. violence experienced by women and girls during armed conflicts, ranging from physical, sexual, psychological, perpetrated by both states and non-states.
Punishment, abductions, mining, and mutilation. Forced recruitment of women combatants, rape, sexual slavery, sexual exploitation, involuntary disappearance, arbitrary detention, forced marriages, forced prostitution, forced abortions, forced pregnancies, and forced sterilization.
Women's participation in decision-making is crucial for achieving gender equality and promoting inclusive development. They bring unique experiences and viewpoints, enriching decision-making processes. Participation leads to more effective and sustainable solutions. Our involvement promotes transparency and accountability. Our involvement empowers them to take care of their lives and the lives of their families.
While women and health is a critical aspect of overall well-being, empowering physical, emotional, and social health, women face unique health challenges throughout their life, and it is essential to address these issues. These issues are called comprehensive. Key health issues that affect women: 1, reproductive health; 2, breast cancer; 3, cervical cancer; 4, mental health; 5, violence against women.
Thank you, ma'am. Poverty affects women disproportionately, and it is essential to understand its causes, consequences, and potential solutions to this issue.
When women are poor, their rights are not protected. They pay double discrimination on accounts and economic situation. When you promote women's ability, these will secure dispute jobs, they will own land, accumulate assets, influence institutions and public policies. That will determine growth and development.
My mother was very innovative. During the war, when things were scarce, she decided to grow rice. She grew approximately 2 acres of rice. It was mainly for family consumption, although she gave a lot to friends because she was the only one in Kratville who grew it. According to Zulu tradition, it is not necessary to give away your produce to neighbors or friends.
We were surprised and impressed by Nukanya's commitment. As a farmer, we describe her as a workaholic. She's not a woman, she's a man. A man of Kratville used to say, we all should learn from her about what it means to work hard.
As a worker, spread far and wide in the community. She says to be paid for work and prompt the quality of the produce.
The people even used to look up to her about the time to wake up in the morning.
There goes Mabeng. The fields are calling us.
Women in environmental conservation. Women in rural and urban areas play a vital role in environmental conservation, contributing significantly to the economy and their own empowerment. They engage in eco-friendly farming practices, promoting food security as well as sustainable livelihoods, protecting biodiversity and ecosystem, manage water resources and ecosystem, manage water resources in urban areas. We as a young woman, we participate in environmental conservation, contributing significant. In urban areas, as a young woman, we participate in recycling, promoting a cleaner environment, and promoting awareness in action.
We women of South Africa, wives and mothers, working women and housewives, Africans, Indians, Europeans, and colors, hereby declare our aim of striving for the removal of all laws, regulations, conventions, and customs that discriminate against us as women and that deprive us in any way of our inherent rights to the advantages, responsibilities, and opportunities that society offers to any one section of the population. We are in mourning for all the women who did not get a chance to achieve all the world has designed for them, who were violently, brutally murdered, who were killed through fire, who were choked, who were stabbed, who were gunned down, who were raped, who were killed with the baby in the belly, who were burned on the wall until their head blasts, until their blood runs down and fills the Nile River. We are grieving, we are sad, we are angry, we are tired, we are devastated, we are disgusted. We mourn every day, we mourn yesterday, we mourn today. When will it end? We question you here, now we want to know. We are broken limbs, broken hearts, broken thoughts, broken marriages, broken trust, broken bodies, with our bodies buried under the ground, with our souls buried under the ground. We are sick and tired, we are sick and angry, we are sick and broken, we are sick of sick hate, insecurities, we are sick of being doubted. Enough is not enough, now we say no more. We are sick of these psychopaths, we are sick of this pandemic of killing women and girls. Women, peace and security, now
Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now, enough is not enough. Now we say no more. Women, peace and security. Now. Oh, 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 oh. Living with peace for you and me. For you and me. Future girls. Oh, 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 oh. Living with peace for you and me. For you and me. Future girls. The future needs a life of the girls. A life of the girls. Future girls. Why? Oh, oh, oh. Living in peace for you and me. For you and me. Future girls.
Thank you. Now you are not going to only clap. I need 16 women to come very fast to the stage here. 16 women. Very fast, I'm counting. Side count for me. 16 women. Okay. Okay, that's enough. Okay, mothers. Okay. Now, I need you to do what you need to do. I need you to love these children now. Not tomorrow, now. Lee, love these children now. I know, sweetie. You need to love the children now. Now I need you women seated to actually clap for them. Okay? Okay? And as you love the children, I need you to affirm them. Tell them you are powerful. Tell them you are beautiful. Tell them we are proud of you. We are proud of you. You are our children. We will protect you. We will fight for you. We will keep fighting for you. We will protect you because we love you. You are our children. All of you are our children. We are proud of you. Thank you. Ingamaya makosi kasima libongwe. Ingamaya makosi kasima libongwe. Malibongwe. 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 Let me pass here. Malibongwe. Let me pass here. Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Okay, I want to lead you out. Okay, this way. Thank you. We love you. Okay, this way. Inga maya makosi kasi. Continue.
Si malibongwe, malibongwe.
but you've done a lot. You've done a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, the children are going around getting hugs. They just need hugs. So give them hugs right now as they go around. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We love you. Please, could you hug these two for me as they come down? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Women power. Women power. African women power. African women power. Forward, African women forward. Forward, African women forward. Women power. Women power. We shall not relent. Beloved, the other good news is that it is time for lunch. But I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first? I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want first? I already said good news is that it is time for lunch. I have bad news. What do you want me to tell you? You only have 38 minutes for lunch. 38. Because at 2 o'clock, we are coming to dance. Okay? Things are just getting started. We are warming up. Right here. Okay? This is where the rubber hits the road. So I want to thank you very much. I want to honor all of you. I want to welcome you to replenish yourself at lunch. And you could try and be here at least at 2:29. Am I nice? 2:29? Because we're a bit late. So don't come at 2:30. Don't come. I'll close the gates. Come at 2:29. Be seated before then. Thank you. Please clap for yourselves. Thank you. Thank you very much. I need a hug. Thank you.
Vibe that we want. Yes. You are wonderful.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Good afternoon, Super Women. DJ Jason wants you to stand. Where are the Super Women? From Tanzania, where are we? Can we stand? Because DJ Jason wants us to go around as Super Women as we begin. Ladies, you've been eating. Stand up, we dance. Yes. Yes, thank you. Can I get you moving? Twendeni zungukeni huku. Yes. We have the dancer who's showing us how it's done. Ruan, come up. Yes. Round. 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 Thank you. Super women, where are you? Superwoman. 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 Very good. Stand up and dance. Why aren't the super women standing up to dance? Yes. My sister, let's dance. Let's dance, my sister. Super women of Africa. Very good. You can move round. Move round if you need to. Thank you. The ones at the back. Very good. Tunaweza. 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 It means we can. Thank you. Yes. Okay, clap with your hands up. Superwoman. Very good. Superwoman. 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 Yeah. Super women. If you are a very good dancer, come and join me here. One of you only. If you are the best dancer, come and join me here. Only one. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Super women. Ananini. Hey. Woo. Super women sitting down, not fair, oh. Not fair, oh. Super women, not fair, oh. Get up. Silale. Yeah. Woo. Clap. Superwoman. I'm a superwoman. Woo! Clap.
Announce hao waambie kama wako waje. Dan and Saya na Jennifer. Wakutane na mimi huko nyuma wa mic.
Dan and Saya. Okay. Dan and Senya and Jennifer Aboringa, if you're in the room, please go back and get mic'd. Nitaendelea tu, don't worry. Woo! I'm a superwoman. I'm a superwoman. Woo! Superwoman. Thank you, superwomen. Let me announce. Thank you, superwomen. Woo! Okay, take your seats. Take your seats. Superwomen, take your seats. Burkina Faso, yes. Yes, let me pick that. Thank you. Thank you, superwomen.
Love what I'm seeing like this.
Thank you, darling. Thank you very much. Superwomen. Superwomen, may I have
Use this one and then I keep that one for you. Iko na notes zako.
I put it there? I don't think so. I'm just calling them in and then I sit. Yes. The corner would be fine. Haya. Wamama hoi! Wamama hoi! Wamama hi! Wamama hi! Join me, my beloved delegates, in welcoming the power panelists for this afternoon. A big clap for the panelists as I call them one by one. Join me in clapping up for Najwa Ibrahim. A big clap for Najwa. Thank you. Come in. Jason. DJ Jason, that's for our wise women. Thank you, DJ Jason. Okay, DJ Jason. So, Yampiga hayo? Kwa nini? No. DJ Jason, for our panel, we will have the Superwoman music, and then we will have the game changer for our torchbearers for Beijing. Thank you very much. A big clap. Beloved, I urge that we love each other a little bit more. We love each other a little bit more. We are sisters, and only sisterhood is what brings us here. I am at this moment asking that we love each other a little bit more, even as we are sitting. All right? So thank you, Najwa. We've welcomed Najwa. May I call Advocate Tando? Tando Gumende. Tando. Very good. Whoever does Tando. Whoever does Tando. I need you to sit here, so I sit at the end. Sit. Huh? You sit here, so I sit at the back. I'm at the corner. You guys are we okay? She has to sit here. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm asking for more love. Are we together? You mean there isn't enough love in this room? I'm shook it. I want more love. Thank you so much. Join me in welcoming our third panelist, Michael Petros. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Thank you, Michael. Okay. Michael has received it. Say, I receive it. Okay. Thank you, Michael. Join me now in actually welcoming our next panelist, Jennifer Aboringa. Whoa. Wonderful. See how you're being cheered. Thank you. Thank you. Jennifer has received it. And our last panelist, Dan Etseya. Thank you. Aren't you dancing? We are not starting until you dance. Thank you so much. So good afternoon once again. Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Are we together?
Yes.
This is an important section that emphasizes and strengthens the solidarity of African women, regardless of country, of status, of creed, of religion, of color, of anything else. Because 30 years ago, there are African women who came together and they were the game changers. Because of what happened 30 years ago, we are standing here today talking about all the things we talk about, the work we do, the programs we program, the initiatives we take, the game changers.
Yes.
30 years ago brought about the change that we had been looking for. Now, in front of you is a panel of young, smart, opinionated, exposed, well-traveled young women who are driving change in their countries the way they ought to drive change. And before they speak, I told them, we are custodians of the African proverb that says, the youth walk faster, but the elders know the way. Can I repeat? The youth might walk faster, but the elders know the way. They have been there before us. And so the young people told me themselves, the panel said, you know, Mildred, yes, we have to celebrate the elders.
Yes.
And so I want to start in honor and respect to call forward a few of our Beijing legends. Say Beijing legends.
Beijing legends.
Who went ahead of you and I and put together what we are doing now. The Beijing legends gave us the blueprint for gender equality and women's emancipation. The Beijing legends are the ones who gave us what we call the Bill of Rights for Women's Rights. Can I repeat? Say the Bill of Rights for Women's Rights.
The Bill of Rights for Women's Rights.
And today, before we kickstart the discussion, we cannot do it without honoring them. And so I want to start off, when I call out a legend, dance with the legend, bring her here for me, and let her wave at us. They are the game changers. My Nigerian sister, Oye.
Oye.
Flavor told us the game changers. The firstborn daughter is the game changer. So the legends are our game changers. So I want to start by welcoming, very first welcoming Mama Wahu Kara. May I ask you to lead Mama Wahu Kara here? My sister, may I ask you to lead her? Ruan Goja. Ruan Goja. Goja. May I ask you to lead her? It is important. And I need you to hold her. Yes, please lead her here. Thank you, Mama Wahu. Could you hold Mama Wahu? So I need to speak to everyone and to my sister here that when you sit next to a legend, when you encounter a legend, you kiss her feet, my dear. You acknowledge and understand who the legend is, and you never forget. Thank you so much. As Mama Wahu is getting ready, may I welcome another legend, Mama Amel Samud Kamari from Egypt. Are you here?
No, she's
Amel Hamoudi from Tunisia?
Yeah.
Mama Amel from Tunisia?
No, she's
okay. It is okay. It is okay. I think we don't have Mama Amel. But a big clap for her still. Let me welcome the next one, Ma Aidalinda Rodriguez from Angola. Where are we? Ma Aidalinda Rodriguez from Angola. Do we have? Zebu, Zebu. Can I have Mama Aidalinda? Okay. While we wait, may I welcome Miss Paulette Dora Senze from Cameroon. Yeah. Wonderful. Yes. There are two. Paulette and Senze.
done.
This is Paulette.
Yes.
This is Senze
Yeah,
Dora.
I'm like, do we keep going or we gotta take breaks? You know? The lights is affecting me. Is it?
Paulette Meta. Oh, thank you, Mama Paulette.
Let's look away for a little bit.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful. May I call upon Mama Annie Bambe from the DRC? could you clap for Mama Annie Bambe? A big clap for our legends. Thank you.
Oh, this is so cute.
Thank you, Mama Annie. May I call upon Lea Mboua from the Central African Republic? Yes? She's not here.
She's not come.
Yes. Can I have Mama Lea Mboua from the Central African Republic? May I call upon the legend Sarah Longway? The legend Sarah Longway of the Sarah Longway Gender Policy Analysis. Wonderful. May I call upon Mama Emma Kalia? Yes, the challenge. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Malawi. Thank you. Okay, may I call upon, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it right, Dr. Turelebi Augusta Koripamo Agani from Nigeria. Woo! The game changer from Nigeria. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. The lion is here. Zebu, zebu. Nigeria gave us the game changer. May I call Ambassador Haja Alari Awanatu from Sierra Leone. Woo! Wonderful. Ambassador Kwahanatu from Sierra Leone. Please clap for Ambassador from Sierra Leone. Ambassador Haja from Sierra Leone. Jason, we are still welcoming game changers, DJ Jason. Let them dance a bit, please. Thank you, Ambassador Haja.
We're melting.
A big clap for Ambassador Haja.
The lights. I'm like, but it's calming my nerves. I'm feeling better now.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It makes us feel more comfortable. Yeah. What country
May
are you from?
I call upon
Nigeria.
Madam
We're in
Zaruti
Nigeria.
Fatma from
Abuja.
Morocco.
Okay, I grew up. One of my best friends in high school is from Abuja. I'm from
Zaruti from
Eritrea.
Morocco.
That's interesting.
Are you guys the Warsaw?
From Algeria.
Fellows?
I'm sorry.
It's like women of
Mama Zaruti Fatma from Algeria. Okay. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. 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 And okay. Thank you, Algeria. Thank you, Algeria. So now I want to finally, last but not least, call Shewanesh Sium from Eritrea. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Can we take our seats as we leave the legends to stand here before us? Can we all sit down, please, as we continue? The legends, please continue standing here before us for just 2 more minutes. African women, I present to you the women who opened up the gates for us. I present to you the women who were bold enough 30 years ago to go and speak about everything that impacts women. I present to you the women who we are trying so hard to follow, to emulate, and who we know it has not been easy. May I have only the legends standing? Okay. Walk to copy. May I have the legend, Dr. Nana Pratt? Welcome, Dr. Nana Pratt. Thank you, Mama Nana Pratt. Mama Charity Mwansa from Zambia. Mama Charity Mwansa from Zambia. South Africa sisters, please come forward. We didn't get the name correctly from you, South Africa, please. Who? You didn't give us. The conquerors, the champions, the lionesses are here. We know that the lionesses are more vicious than the lion. You know that. Between the lion and the lioness, which one is more vicious? These are the lionesses. These are the lionesses. May I get our sister legend from Liberia? And we had left you out. Councillor Tonier Taleni. Councillor Tonier from Liberia. A clap for her. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, can we all be seated? Thank you. Can we all be seated? The legends are here. The conquerors, the game changers, the legends, the lionesses are here. We want to appreciate and thank all these women who opened the gates for us. Maybe we have never said it enough. Maybe we've never acknowledged. But in this AfWID of 2025, we want to go into record by saying that we celebrate you. We affirm you. We honor you. And now as you stand there, the young people who have picked the baton from you will come around and just say thank you. You don't have to use the mic. Just come over here as you go around. A big clap. The young people want to say thank you. They are the ones in the panel. They will say thank you one by one. Yes. Game changer can continue. DJ Jason, that's good enough. You start from here. Yeah, you just say thank you. Yes. They want to say thank you. It is important that we appreciate our elders. When the young people run faster, they forget that the elders were there before. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And please allow me. Thank you. Thank you. We celebrate and appreciate you. We honor you. These are the shoulders we are all standing on. And maybe sometimes the shoulders are so tired, but we are stepping on them so hard. from? May I just ask that a legend says a few words in appreciation or in a recognition for why we actually celebrate them as legends. Mama Wahu Kara, may I just allow you a minute?
Women all over the world, because Africa is all over the world. The cradle of humanity is from Africa. So I'm only saying, never, never give up. Take the assignment. Take the assignment of your destiny in your hands. Take your space. Don't allow anybody to move you from your space. And march with a spirited spirit that is African woman, courageous, never to give up. Here we are, and there we shall be, because we are coming from there. And the river flows. And the river flows.
Thank you. A big clap. Ash, game changer, please. Thank you so much. I ask that the women move around holding their flags. We thank you. We appreciate you. We honor you. We celebrate you. We see you. Don't think we don't see you. We see you and we follow. Please clap with your hands above as they go back to their seats. Thank you. Okay, countries, you can come and pick the legends for them to see it. Thank you very much. So you... Thank you. Please take your seats. Okay, I'll put on my English. You will introduce yourselves, very brief, and then you say what you live by. Like, for example, me, I live by hope. What about hope? Okay? Something like that. All right? Thank you very much. Let's take our seats, please. Thank you very much. Let's take our seats, please. Thank you, Liberia. Please take your seats. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Malawi, please take your seats. We see you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May I summarize this for us, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have gentlemen in the room? Okay. Power women, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Please take your seats. Allow me to get the panel to introduce themselves as we begin the conversation. What you have seen here is the elders standing to say, we did it. We went. We did it. And what you have seen is the youth, the younger ones coming to say, thank you. Thank you. I took the mantle. I'm now walking with the mantle. Do you understand why it is important to acknowledge?
Yes.
Always remember that the youth might walk very fast, but the elders know the way. The youth might run very fast, but the elders will tell you, pass here, here there's a hole. Avoid this one, here you will fall. Go this way, here. Are we together? So the youth walk faster, but the elders know the way. May I start by welcoming my panel? They are going to introduce themselves and just briefly say who they are, but also tell us what they live by. What they live by. So we start with you, Najwa.
Marhaba. Hello. Did you
Are
hear?
we together?
Yeah. مرحبا. مساء الخير. أنا نجوى إبراهيم من مصر.
Just a minute, Najwa. So Arabic, are we all together? We get into our interpreters?
Yeah. Do you have this?
Okay.
I do, yeah.
I will speaking with my native language.
You speak in your?
In Arabic.
Okay.
Okay.
Speaking Arabic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, please can you go ahead, Najwa?
مرحبا. أنا اسمي نجوى إبراهيم من مصر. سعيدة جدا بحضوري معاكم النهارده ووجودي في منتدى المرأة الأفريقية. وحقيقي دي أول حضور ليا في أفريقيا بشكل أساسي، وسعيدة جدا بكمية الحب والتضامن اللي أنا شايفاه، ويمكن دي أكبر تظاهرة حضرتها يعني من سنين. آخر حاجة كنت حضرتها بنفس الزخم ده كانت منتدى شباب العالم في مصر. فيعني حقيقي أنا مبسوطة جدا بالفايبس البوزيتيف فايبس اللي أنا حاساها ما بينكم، حاسة إن أنا ما بين أسرتي وأخواتي وأهلي. أنا نجوى إبراهيم المدير التنفيذي لمؤسسة إدراك للتنمية والمساواة في مصر. هي مؤسسة معنية بالأساس بحقوق النساء والفتيات. بنشتغل على قضايا الصحة الجنسية والإنجابية والعنف ضد النساء والأمان الرقمي وتمكين الكوادر النسائية والشابات. أنا حاصلة على بكالوريوس علوم سياسية ومعايا دبلومة في إدارة المنظمات غير الحكومية وعضو اللجنة التنسيقية للشبكة العربية للمجتمع المدني النسوي. وسعيدة جدا بوجودي النهاردة. بالنسبة لسؤال ميردا بخصوص الكودس اللي أنا عايشة بيه، أنا دايماً بشوف إن الشابات قادرين إن هم يقودوا التغيير التحويلي في بلدانهم على المستويات المختلفة المحلية والإقليمية والعالمية كمان، وإن إحنا نوصل صوتنا. وكمان بشوف لأن إحنا عندنا مرصد لجرائم العنف في إدراك إن النساء مش مجرد أرقام ضحايا العنف، النساء والأطفال ضحايا العنف مش مجرد أرقام في إحصائيات، بل هم حياة بني آدمين محتاجين إن هم يعيشوا ويتمتعوا بالحماية ويتمتعوا بحقوقهم والوصول للموارد. فأنا دايماً بحاول إن إحنا نشتغل على الموضوعات اللي لها علاقة بحماية النساء وتوفير كل سبل الدعم ليهم. شكراً لكم.
Thank you. Thank you, Najwa. Thank you very much. And I will call again that we grant the panel grace by just being quiet, so we can hear what they're saying. It helps when we listen. Thank you. Advocate Tando, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mildred, and thank you so much for holding the space so beautifully and setting the tone. So just about myself, I see myself as both a person in this world, but also a spiritual being. Superficially speaking, I am a lawyer by profession. I'm an advocate of the High Court of South Africa. I teach about law and human rights. I specialize in anti-racism and anti-gender-based violence. I'm pro-Black, pro-decolonization, and the rebuilding of the African continent. Further to that, I'm also an innovator and a social entrepreneur. I am the founder of Mteto Search Engine, which is a technology that uses artificial intelligence, law, and gamification to try and prevent and respond to school-related gender-based violence. I also am the founder of a private medical laboratory in South Africa that provides quality, high-quality healthcare to marginalized groups such as women and queer people or LGBTQIA+ people and Black communities specifically. And on top of that, I also wear the hat of being the youngest ever National Commissioner for Gender Equality in South Africa, appointed by the President. But so those are the hats that I wear superficially, but substantially, I am a healer. I'm a healer. That is my God-given gift, and I heal by consciousness raising. I heal by problem solving, and I heal by making and creating things. You asked Mildred, what is my call to action? What is the thing that drives me and motivates me? It is an Arabic term called ibadah, which means divine submission to God. I am here on a mission to divinely submit to the will of God. I've been created to fight. I've been created to be a foot soldier. I've been created to lead. And that's what I'm going to do, no matter what patriarchy can try and do. I was made to do this work, and I'm going to do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And now we welcome you, Mikal. Tell us about you. Thank you, Mikal.
Hello. Can everyone hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Yes, okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Mikal Petros. I'm Eritrean American, and I identify as a storyteller. My background academically is in international affairs focused on identity and governance in Africa. And really, the primary focus of my work has been fundraising and development for nonprofits. So I've worked and lived in Kenya and Eswatini, as well as Algeria. Shout out to my Swazi people, yes, and my Swati. But really, I think my passion for human rights really comes from being Eritrean. Eritrea got independence in 1991. I was born in 97 in the diaspora. And we talked today about honoring our elders. And what really breaks my heart is that those who fought for our freedom have not seen a free Eritrea. We have been under a dictatorship since 1991. And since 2001, there has been no freedom of press, arguably since before that, but legally since 2001, there's been no freedom of press. There's forced national conscription of young people, also women and girls, into the military. And people flee by the tens of thousands each month just to flee specifically military conscription in order to get an education and to get a livelihood outside of the country. So as someone in the diaspora who is speaking out, I cannot go back to Eritrea, but something that I'm very passionate about is being a force in the diaspora to support those who are enacting change and supporting those who are fleeing. So a lot of the work in the diaspora is focusing on helping refugees resettle, and now we have a new generation of Eritreans who can now speak for themselves, who've experienced what's happening in Eritrea, and we're working with them to amplify their voices. So I'm here as an Eritrean American, and I understand that privilege, and I'm really here to amplify the stories of those who are experiencing the dictatorship back home.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Keep up the same spirit of cheering us. Please keep it up. Now, Jennifer Aboringa. Jennifer, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Mildred. Hi. My name is Jennifer Bonge. Yeah.
Jennifer Bonge. Please forgive me.
Sure. And I am from Nigeria. And I am a feminist. And I am also part of an amazing team, a group of young women called the Women of the South Speak Out. Yeah, they are quite an amazing women all across the sub-Saharan region of Africa doing very amazing things. I fashion myself a mainstream feminist because all I do as a person, okay, brief history, I became a person with a disability at the age of 18, shortly after my secondary education. This was a very vital time in my life, a time where I thought I was 18 and I got the freedom, finally, to be my own person, an adult. And then I survived a spinal cord injury, and I became a person with a disability. And since that time, having a disability has helped to shape my life, has given me a purpose, what I am driven by as a person. And all that is summarized in the work I do to mainstream disability inclusion in all spaces. So as a person, whatever I do, I'm advocating for the mainstream and inclusion of persons with disability in all spaces and all walks of life. And I am happy to be here today to see that not only am I here, but there are several other young women with disabilities who are represented in this room. It speaks to the fact that we are heading somewhere.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jennifer. And now we welcome Dan. Dan is here, yes.
Merci beaucoup. Je vais parler en français. Alors, je me nomme Dan Etia. Je réside actuellement au Sénégal et je travaille au CRES, qui est un centre de recherche de l'économie et du social. Et nous aidons l'État sénégalais avec d'autres ONG en ce qui concerne les politiques publiques. Et en parallèle, je suis avec Ressort et parfois avec Féminet. Et tout ce qui concerne l'économie publique, j'y suis. Merci. Et dans toutes ces actions, pour ma part, personnellement, quand je travaille, c'est avec l'espérance. Toujours avec espérance. Parce que c'est ça qui me permet de pouvoir quitter le lit et pouvoir travailler pour atteindre des objectifs, par exemple les ODD. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, honorable panelists. I will be conversing with you back and forth, and I will ask that we just have a conversation. So what I hear from you is that you are all unapologetic feminists.
Yes, yes.
The panel. That you are all unapologetic feminists.
Yes, yes, yes.
May I ask you, Dr. Tando, Advocate Tando, what does it mean to be an apologetic feminist? And I need you to know that the legends 30 years ago did not even use the term feminist. Am I right? Am I right, legends? They didn't even have room to explore to use it. And now we stand on their shoulders, we stand with pride and confidence. And you say, I am a feminist, no ifs, no buts. What does that mean to you, Advocate Tando?
I'm glad that you asked me this question, because when I go and speak and educate, I define what feminism means to me all the time. Feminism is the unwavering, unrelenting pursuit of equity amongst all human beings, regardless of their superficial differences. And that is what I stand for.
No ifs, no buts.
No.
I'll throw it back to you now, Jennifer. Jennifer, you know that we have to amplify even more the voices of our women and girls with disabilities. What do you think have been the gains since Beijing 30 years ago for the women and girls with disabilities? Because if you ask the legends who are here, at that time the focus was not specific, although the mention was there. Am I right? I keep cross-checking with the legends sitting here. Although the mention was there. Jennifer, what are your thoughts? How much do we still need to do?
Okay, thank you very much. We must continuously applaud our legends, because when I look back 30 years ago, if at this point we are still trying to get gender equality, this is 2025. And 30 years ago, 1995, when I was just 1 year old, I think that was a very long time, and it was bravery for these women to go to these men to tell them enough is enough. This is what we want. We are African women. That is such an inspiring thing to look at. And I know that when they went there, they had every African woman and girl child in mind, regardless of disability or not. And of course, times are changing now, and we also have to change with the times. Looking at the space we are in now, we are actually stepping up with disability inclusion, but then we need so much more. And on top of my head, we need a disaggregated data that speaks specifically to African women with disability. When I go to my data to read the research and data that is there, all I'm seeing is 80 million people with disabilities living in Africa. Then I'm asking how many of them are women? How are we able to separate the women from this population so that we can specifically program for these women? Mind you, as a woman with a disability, my experiences are totally different from the male with disability. I'll give you an instance. A man with a disability in Africa is definitely going to get married if he wants to. The family is going to go all lengths to get a wife for him. And that wife is going to be a woman somewhere, regardless. As a woman with a disability, a lot of families are going to ask, will she be able to give birth? She's going to give birth to children with disabilities. Can she cook? Can she pound? These are the questions that are going to confront me when it comes to my reality as a woman with a disability. The men with disabilities do not experience these stereotypes when it comes to stereotypes and discrimination of persons with disabilities. And I tell you, women with disabilities, they face 2 times the gender-based violence we talk about, sexual-based violence we talk about, and globally, women with disabilities by the world, the UN nations are recognized as the poorest of the poorest population.
Thank you, Jenny, for very important points there. It actually brings out the layers of discrimination, that we actually face. And I'm thinking, Mikal, your country, Eritrea, going through a difficult political process means that even women now pushing to get into political leadership is almost impossible. And it is very difficult. Women running for office in all African countries face unfair questions like women with disabilities. They will ask, who is she married to? How many children does she have? Who was her boyfriend when she was in primary? Where did she get money? Did her father say yes? But they never ask the men these questions. Mikal, when you think about the future of your country and the trajectory of your country, where do you see women in the next 10 years, only 10, in terms of political participation and leadership?
The topic of political participation is very sensitive because it's effectively a one-man dictatorship. There is no political participation. And I think in general with Africa, it's so important for the diaspora to remain engaged and informed and empower the populations that are in the countries. But in terms of Eritrea, there's no civil society. There's no room to organize. There's no room to hear people's voices. So when I think about being Eritrean, it's really, it's a painful conundrum of being proud of having a country that gained independence, but at what cost? And when I think about independence, I think about how our military had 30% women. We had a significant number of women contribute to the war efforts. So when we talk about Martyrs' Day, which, mind you, Eritrea is only 30, it's like a little over 30 years old, so it's very recent memory. We're also honoring the women who sacrificed, mothers and grandmothers who sacrificed, the trauma that we're seeing play out in our day-to-day lives. So when I think about political participation in the future, I think, one, obviously, I would love to see democratic elections. I would love to see freedom of expression. Having a forum like this, I think, when you also asked us about what we live by, I really live by speaking your truth. And I think that sounds so simple and we take it for granted, but I don't take for granted that I wouldn't be able to speak like this in Eritrea. So this is really an honor to be representing my country here and to be able to speak on these issues and to inform this group of women.
Right, right. Wow, Dan, how does it make you feel to realize that women still in different parts of Africa have no room to even have voice? So they have no agency 30 years after Beijing.
Please, can you repeat, please? Can you repeat your question?
Yes. How do you feel to understand that women in other parts of Africa, maybe not in your country, but in many of our countries, still do not have room to voice as women or to have their own agency, just as Michael has described the situation in Eritrea? And yet, 30 years ago, our legends went to push for voice, agency, and power for women.
Okay. Merci beaucoup pour la question. En ce qui concerne le pouvoir qu'il faut donner aux femmes, d'abord, on peut voir les statistiques au niveau de l'Afrique en général. Il n'y a que 27% des femmes qui occupent des sièges au niveau du Parlement. Et maintenant, au niveau du Sénégal, ils sont au moins 50% de femmes et 50% de femmes. C'est à féliciter. Mais les places que ces femmes occupent au niveau du Parlement ne sont pas des places parfois stratégiques où on prend des décisions. Et du coup, ça porte préjudice en ce qui concerne les décisions qu'il faut prendre sur les femmes, en ce qui concerne l'éducation, la santé et bien d'autres questions de politique publique. Et certes, les régions de l'Afrique de l'Ouest ont assez quand même fait des progrès en ce qui concerne le fait de pousser les femmes à être devant en action, mais ceux de l'Afrique centrale, il y a encore beaucoup d'efforts à effectuer. Et ceux de l'Afrique de l'Est aussi, ils font quand même des progrès, et ceux de l'Afrique du Sud aussi également, et ceux du Nord. Mais par contre, dans la région d'Afrique centrale, il y a encore vraiment des efforts qu'il faudra effectuer. Je ne sais pas si j'ai répondu à la question.
Thank you, but I'll still make your life difficult, dear panel, because you are the young ones who have picked up the mantle from the legends. My question, and I'll start with you, my sister here, my dear. The legends fought for all these things we are discussing 30 years ago. And I heard from your description of the work that you do, it's still intervention in the same things. Why do you think we are still stuck there? The legends, when they went to Beijing, there were how many thematic areas, people?
12.
12. To Beijing, how many were there?
10.
12, yes. There was women in media, women in economic empowerment, women in poverty, women in environment, women peace, and you had the children, isn't it? There were 12. So what are your thoughts? Why are we, 30 years later, still fighting and pushing for the same thing? Does it mean that I will moderate your session 30 years from now? Believe me, I will be moderating, inshallah. And you will be giving me the same answers. Tell me, I need you to shift it for me.
Okay. I think it's related to, it's not, we are not working hard, but it's related to how much we face it anti-right movement and the backlash in our societies, and how much the conventions and law enforcement can help in this. I speak in English. Sorry.
Yes, it's okay.
بتكلم بالاساس على ان I'm forget it. احنا بنواجه بقالنا سنين. انا اتكلم عن بيجين بشكل عام. بيجين بشكل عام بقاله 30 سنه وثيقه معلنه فيها 12 مبدا لحقوق المساواه ما بين الجنسين والمعايير الخاصه.
Interpreters, are we good? Yes.
Slow down.
Yes, yes. Okay.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. ال 12 مبدأ دول كل 5 سنين بنعمل مراجعة للمعايير الخاصة بمدى التقدم فيهم على مستوى الدول، سواء كان في الأفريكان كوكس أو في الأرب كوكس. لكن إلى أي مدى المعايير دي بروجريسيف وافكتيف، يعني حصل تقدم فيها وهي فعلا فاعلة. لو هنيجي نبص هل هي بتتقيم إن إحنا عندنا قوانين تم إصدارها تحولنا من المربع الأحمر للمربع الأخضر، إن هي بقى عندنا قانون مثلا ضد التحرش، قانون ضد زواج الأطفال، ولا مدى فعالية القوانين دي في التنفيذ على الأرض؟ وقد ايه قادره تساعدنا ان احنا نحمي الستات والنساء والفتيات في المجتمعات المحليه بتاعتنا، وقد ايه احنا بنشارك في صناعه القرار في الدول بتاعتنا الخاصه بينا وفي الاليات الدوليه، وقد ايه احنا قادرين ان احنا مونيتورنج ونقدر نحاسب الحكومات على يعني انفاذ القانون واليات الحمايه. فعشان كده لما انت بتكلميني ايه بقالنا كذا سنه بنشتغل، احنا بنشتغل بس الريزيستنس اعلى من اللي احنا بنشتغل، بس ده مش معناه ان احنا ما حققناش. احنا حركات مدنيه وحركات نسويه قويه جدا بنقدر ناخد خطوات على الارض. بس خليني اقول لك ان ال5 سنين اللي فاتت دول حصل باكلاش كبير جدا، في تراجع كبير جدا في الحقوق. احنا بنحاول حاليا ان احنا نحفظ مكتسباتنا اللي قدرنا ان احنا نحصل عليها خلال السنين اللي فاتت. احنا حاليا بنتكلم على سن زواج بينزل ل9 سنين. بنتكلم دلوقتي على قوانين بترجعنا تاني ورا بعد ما خليناه مثلا 16 سنه في كتير من الدول. بنتكلم على فكر بيحرم كلمات بحد ذاتها ان احنا نستخدمها في مصطلحات في بلداننا. احنا ما عندناش body autonomy ولا استقلاليه جسديه ولا ملكيه جسديه. بنتكلم على ان ما فيش، بنرجع لورا. كنا بنقدر ننزل ونعمل اويرنس ليها علاقه بالصحه الجنسيه والانجابيه، دلوقتي تستيبوا مجرد الديجيتال سبيسز بس المتاحه لينا. ورغم قوه الديجيتال سبيسز اللي احنا قادرين نعملها، لكن احنا بنتعرض كمان في الديجيتال سبيسز ناشطين ومدافعين عن حقوق النساء، بنتعرض لعنف في الديجيتال سبيسز وبنتعرض لتهديدات. فكل دي عوامل مخليانا ان it's back.
Thank you, and I want to hold that thought, Advocate Tando, because we are talking law. We have laws. We have put policies put in place. We are pushing for implementation. Is it enough in our African countries? Once upon a time, 30 years ago, we felt that these laws have to be put in place for women and girls to rise. Advocate Tando, what is wrong with the laws that we have and policies across the continent? Please speak generally.
You know, this question, if you will afford me an adequate amount of time, because it's very meaty. Yes. The problem that we have is that we don't fully want to recognize what the real problem is and to tackle the real problem. In order for us to collectively be able to ideate what our collective dream looks like, it means that we must collectively engage in a reconciliation of our history and where we come from. Now, I want to go back to Europe prior to colonization. There are many people, you had asked me, what is feminism? What do I think about it? There are many people who think that feminism is a new terminology. In fact, if you look at the anti-feminist patriarchal movement of modern times, they have this terminology that they use of the modern woman versus the trad woman, to say that feminism is something that is very new and therefore it is illegitimate and is therefore collapsing our societies and our communities. Now, remember I said unwavering, unrelenting pursuit to equity. Equity is not a word that exists in a vacuum. There's a history behind that and why we are pursuing it. Before colonization, European women were being harassed and mistreated by white European men. They were not allowed to vote. They had no sexual and reproductive health and rights. They could not go to school. They could not own property. They could not have any identity outside of their husbands and their marriages. So when colonization spread across the African continent and across the world for that matter, the mistake that people make is thinking that it just spread racial discrimination. No, it did not. It took with it everything else that was already sophisticated within the European society, one of which being classism, sexism, and misogyny. So when we then come to the colonial or colonized territories of the world, it is not just racial discrimination that we experience, but misogyny. And for us African women sitting here, all of us women of color here, we experienced another layer called the misogynoir, which is the unfair discrimination against a human being based on the premise of both their race and their sex. We experience multiple layers of oppression as women. And until we are willing to interrogate the fact that many of the systemic violence that we experience in our society are remnants of colonization, until we accept that, we are not going to move forward. I'll speak about the South African case. In South Africa, what we did are two things, and very likely also in other colonized parts of Africa. Number one, the dismembering of African families for economic exploitation and capitalism. Number two, it was the reinforcement of ideologies such as eugenics and the weaponization of legal systems, economic systems, educational systems, healthcare systems, and academia to push their agenda against our African families. Those are the two critical areas that when you assess our laws and our policies, if they are not speaking to those things, they are doing nothing. The South African Constitution has been lauded as being a brilliant one, but it never speaks once about apartheid. You can never defeat a demon unless you call it out by its name. If you want to defeat a demon, you call it out by its name, and that's where you start. The reality is, and I'm talking about colonization and apartheid because we are still colonized. We are colonized in different ways. You have got countries that are led by black politicians, but when you open the veil, when you pierce the veil of the leadership of our countries, there is Europeans, there are Americans, and there are white people who are running the country. The revolution of our society lies in 3 places. And until we tap in these 3 areas, you will not get anything. Number 1, it is in our African families. Number 2, it is in our African communities. And number 3, it is in how we as individuals identify ourselves and play a role in the community. That is where our revolution lies.
Where do you see the younger generation in changing this dynamic?
Okay.
Where do you see the younger generation? You have articulated it very well.
Yes.
So where do you see us, millennials, Gen Zs, Gen Alpha, like myself, where do you see us in changing this rhetoric?
Once again, you need to understand the problem. There is a very deliberate attempt to completely demobilize or immobilize youth with drugs, hypersexualization, no access to the economy, and by spreading messages of violence in very subliminal ways. It's in our entertainment. We are entertained by seeing someone raped in a movie. We are entertained by seeing people behaving in a very hypersexual manner. In the locations, the townships or the ghettos or the projects, there is a shabin or a place to drink alcohol wherever you go. But there are very few programs of development that are committed to the youth. Our society does not care about children and youth. But on top of that, there is definitely an attempt. It's not by accident, and it's not caused by the youth. There is an attempt to make the youth useless. You will remember Mildred and the rest of my panelists. Go back to the revolutionaries of this continent. Go back to the revolutionaries of South Africa. They were children. They were children who had no degrees, no qualifications, no titles to their names. But they knew what needed to be done. We are few and far between. Now you ask me, how do we have the exchange? The problem and the plot twist, Ma'am Mildred, is that the people who are orchestrating the mobilization of the youth are that very group of elders who don't want to move out of power and rely on us being immobilized to continue to hold power.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Nicole, Jennifer, Dan, do you feel the same way? Do you feel the same way? Yes, Nicole?
Yeah, I would love to speak on this because also, just to run it back a little bit, I'm Eritrean, born in the United States, but most recently on the continent, I worked in Eswatini. Shout out to my Eswati, I saw y'all. Yes. So I was working in Babane. I was coming to South Africa often, and it was really educational for me because I think Africa is such a diverse continent. And when we talk about colonialism, that's also not a monolithic experience.
Exactly.
Yes. And so what you talked about was very particular to South Africa, I think because Southern Africa has experienced so much settler colonialism where white people, Indian people, you have different populations that came and they made a home here intentionally. I think even in East Africa, this varies, right? You see a different difference in demographics in Ethiopia versus Kenya, for instance. But when I think about Eritrea, I'll give a very brief history as well. And Eritrean history is that we were colonized by Italy, but unlike a lot of African countries that got their independence from a European power, basically Italy lost to the UK during World War II. So overseas, the Italian colony went to the UK. And there was this decade where the UK was kind of ruling Eritrea, kind of not, mostly extracting our resources. And at the end of World War II, they were basically like, what do we do with this territory? And at that point, we were then in a federation with Ethiopia, and then we were effectively annexed and became a colony of Ethiopia. So when Eritreans think about our independence movement, it is from an African colonizer. So I think that complicates the narrative a little bit. And so much has developed politically since then. You know, Eritrea and Ethiopia had their peace deal in 2018. Peace is relative because I don't believe that you can have a peace deal with a dictatorship. But we had a peace deal in 2018 where Abiy Ahmed, the president of Ethiopia, got a Nobel Peace Prize for that same peace deal. Yeah. And then only a couple of years later, you have conflict in northern Ethiopia in which Eritrean troops are welcomed by the Ethiopian government to invade. And these conflicts don't come from the nation states. This comes from before colonial borders. This comes from very deep inter-ethnic conflict. And so I think, of course, I want to talk about unity and moving forward and Pan-Africanism, and that's so important when envisioning a prosperous future, but we cannot ignore the inter-ethnic conflict that is still very much alive and driving hatred today as well. Absolutely. So when I think about the youth, again, with Eritrea, like I would not be able to go back safely. If I were to go back, I would effectively be disappeared as someone who's speaking like this publicly. Yeah. So when I think about the youth's role in this conflict, I think about how my roommate, for instance, Luam, who's recording me right now, she was born and raised in Eritrea and escaped, and to listen to people who've had that experience. Right. Because something that also really breaks my heart with Eritrea, we are such a complicated and political community, but half of our community supports the government vehemently and will deny the lived experiences of refugees leaving the country, people who risked their lives, where shoot to kill is a policy at the border, risk their lives to flee to Ethiopia, the same country we got independence from, and then to go on to wherever they go, Israel, Europe, the United States, we're everywhere. Even in Africa, if you are from Uganda, Kenya, South Sudan, you know Eritreans. South Africa, you know Eritreans. We are everywhere, and we are building lives. We are smart, capable people, and I would love to see us be able to reinvest in our continent. But until that's a reality, we have to invest in the community that's leaving currently.
Thank you, Mikal. It seems to me, Jennifer and Dan, that our history, our political history, the geopolitics that impact on us is something that this generation must grasp if at all we are embarking on seeing how we solve the issues we are talking about. Do we agree?
Sure.
What are your thoughts?
I really do agree with this fact, and I must agree with Tando when she said that we cannot talk about an issue if we do not mention the big elephant in the room. Most times, it is not that the youth are not willing to run like we've been told. The youth are ready and willing to run. In my country, Nigeria, I have seen several times when the youth try to push back on these things, and we've seen with the famous NSAS that happened in Nigeria, we've had the Not Too Young to Run bill, but where has it gone in Nigeria? So politically and leadership-wise, the youth are really pushing hard to occupy these spaces, but we are being told a different story. We are being told a separate history from the one we know. Currently in Nigeria, there are even backlash on even if history will remain in our curriculum. And you know that if we do not have the information, we do not have the power.
They want to scrap
out history from the curriculums of Nigerian education system. And it's happening. So I ask myself, if we do not have the information, how then do we possess the powers that we need? Growing up as a little child, you know, in Nigeria, we have one of the biggest rivers. It is called the River Niger. And as a child, I kept hearing it was discovered by a white person. And then you keep asking yourself, where were our people who lived by these riverbanks? Because I live across the river Benue, and there were people who resided there before the white man came. but we are still told that the river was discovered by someone. So we have a bastardized history that has been told to us, and we've bought it, and now we are trying to define our own history, and we are being told we don't have the power to speak about this history. And we must confront this elephant. And the elephant does not start with youth not being interested in participation. The elephant is existing in the inequalities we are facing in the world today.
Right.
The UN reports that the richest people in Africa or in the world, if they decide to spend 2,000, that's about, in Naira, that's like 2 million Naira, which is over $2,000 daily from the monies they have amassed to themselves. It will take them approximately 2 years to finish those wealth. In Nigeria, currently, as I speak, there are monies that were looted by people in the 80s, in the 70s, that are still being discovered today.
Yeah.
And one of the driving forces that is taking away the youth, the power of the youth, is poverty. We cannot speak about this without talking about poverty, capitalism, and existing inequalities.
Right.
We have people who have taken the power and now are using those powers to oppress the young people. So your voice is being taken away so that you get peanuts. And you get to stick with these people just so you get your daily bread. The rates of unemployment is increasing, and the young people must survive. And how do they survive? Playboys to the politicians. And now the inequalities are further being widened. And when we talk about youth, remember there are also young women as this population who are still yet to find the agency for them to even seek participation. We have quota systems running, but West Africa, recently a barometer that was released in 2024 by Gender Links with other organizations. When I read through that barometer, it expressed that West Africa has the lowest participation of women when it comes to politics, and Nigeria is ranking the lowest because there is no participation for women. And we're just talking about women. How much more when we start talking about young women who are the future leaders or the future owners of these agencies?
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Dan, I will ask that you wrap up this bit and this conversation about history, about agency, about our power as young people, as young women.
S'il faut conclure, pour ma part, je pourrais dire c'est surtout l'éducation. On sait que la jeunesse africaine, la population de la jeunesse africaine est très élevée. On a une population très jeune en Afrique. Mais malheureusement, comme les autres ont dit, notre éducation, la qualité de notre éducation est très faible. Les investissements publics que nos États octroient au niveau de l'éducation est très faible. On peut prendre l'exemple de la Corée du Sud. La Corée du Sud, dans les années 60, après les indépendances pour la plupart des pays africains, ils avaient le même PIB que le Kenya. Il y avait même certains pays d'Afrique, comme le Ghana, je pense. Le PIB dépassait celui de la Corée du Sud. Mais aujourd'hui, la Corée du Sud est citée parmi les 10 premiers du pays du monde, ou parmi les 20 premiers pour certaines variables économiques. Mais par contre, nous autres, nous sommes encore parmi les derniers. S'il y a 197 pays dans le monde, on est vraiment parmi les derniers. On peut citer le Niger, la RDC, on connaît les ressources qu'il y a dans ces pays-là, mais étant donné que l'éducation, la connaissance, on n'en a pas, ou bien on en a, mais la qualité est très faible, on ne peut pas faire face ou bien encore répondre aux exigences internationales, ou bien si on ne connaît pas aussi notre histoire, on ne sera pas à mesure de pouvoir faire face à ce qui est devant nous. On peut être nombreux en tant que jeunesse, mais si on n'a pas la connaissance ou encore l'éducation qu'il faut, on ne pourra pas vraiment faire face à ce qui nous attend devant. Donc, il urge vraiment pour nos États de pouvoir investir dans l'éducation et puis la santé. Et aussi, mais malheureusement, quand il y a des chocs économiques, ils sont là à plus à vouloir payer les dettes publiques que de pouvoir investir dans l'éducation ou encore la santé. Le Japon fait partie des pays les plus endettés au monde. avec un PIB de plus de 200% du PIB. Mais si vous voyez les données macroéconomiques du Japon, ils visent toujours sur l'éducation. Et malgré que le Japon a ce profil-là en termes de dette publique, les investisseurs préfèrent aller investir au Japon que, par exemple, de venir investir en Afrique. Pourquoi ? À cause de beaucoup de facteurs que nous tous nous connaissons. L'éducation, la santé, les infrastructures, la corruption, la gouvernance. Tout ça là, ça freine. Bien que nous soyons nombreux en tant que jeunesse, vraiment, voilà pourquoi tout à l'heure, quand je me suis introduite, je me suis dit que vraiment, il faudrait qu'il y ait de l'espérance, vraiment de l'espérance. Parce que si on essaie de voir l'avenir, étant donné que ma consoeur a cité, il y a la drogue pour notre jeunesse, il y a vraiment la perversité. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire avec une jeunesse pareille ? Récemment, je ne sais pas si TikTok a été supprimé, par exemple, aux États-Unis. Nous, on est comme une éponge qui avale tout. On ne sait pas dire non, on ne sait pas dire si, on avale tout. Si on avait cette connaissance et cette capacité-là de pouvoir dire non, peut-être, etc., on pourrait faire face, par exemple, à toute la pression internationale et autres facteurs. Donc, pour ma part, vraiment, il faudrait que nous puissions investir sur l'éducation, sur notre jeunesse. Merci.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I want to just allow you 5 minutes to think through, dear panelists, the 2 things you think we should do as Pan-African women to move forward the Beijing agenda. Only 2. So you think very clearly about that. Obviously, the wealth of information that is coming from you means you do know and you understand. And while you think, I would love to open the conversation briefly to plenary. Could we have a roving microphone? We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Do we have roving microphones, please? Our tech team. Just a minute. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just a minute. Let's start with the first 4. Okay, you can either just comment or directly speak to the panelists.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, it's not a comment, a recommendation.
No. It's coming from the lady at the back, please.
I'm at the back.
No, not that side. We start from here. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Will you get here?
The tech team, could you just help us have the right microphone? Thank you.
Yes, hi. My name is Fatima Ahmad. I'm from Sudan. I'm the country coordinator. I would like to make a comment, and I'm really surprised. Since yesterday, all of you, maybe you knows what is going on in Sudan. Maybe you knows about what is the women of Sudan going through, and never hear any words of solidarity or any words of highlighting that things. How it comes, we've been as an African women, and we come with so much struggle to come here, just to find some kind of solidarity and to raise your voice with us. This war in Sudan is on the bodies of the women. Yes. Hundreds of thousands being raped, displaced, being even abducted and sold in other countries. So as African women, how it comes? Since yesterday we never hear anything, any words of solidarity or to condemn this act and to say something about this crime going on for the women of Sudan.
Thank you.
Also the youth have no education for 2 years, no university, no schools. So, and we saw here all the youth from other African, and they don't say anything about Sudan. The lady from Ethiopia talking about East African countries never mentioned Sudan, even from Egypt. So how it comes? Why we are here? We are here as African women for solidarity and to raise our voice and to back African women in all the continent, especially who going through this hard time.
We should stand up and show solidarity to her.
Thank you. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, my sister. And we hear you, and our hearts go out to you and all the people of Sudan. And if in any way it has looked like an omission, I would like to tell all the people from Sudan that most of the women working in this room actually program around Sudan, actually try whatever they can from their countries to create spaces on the issue on Sudan. But it is no excuse whatsoever in us not being able to officially stand for Sudan. But I need you to know that all the women, the young people are here, and they show you that they are standing for Sudan.
Yes.
They might not have mentioned Sudan. We might not have mentioned Sudan. You might not have heard the word Sudan. It does not mean that we forget. We do not forget. And so I urge that we stand and hold our hands together for Sudan and for the women and the girls of Sudan. We know that whatever they are going through is even beyond words, is even beyond explanation. I just ask my beloved humbly that we just hold our hands and in silence for 2 minutes. I just need a moment of silence for Sudan, and not only for Sudan and for the DRC, because we know that the DRC is the way it is. I just urge that we hold hands. And I know, my sisters, we might not be able to remember everyone and mention. It does not mean we have forgotten. It does not mean you're not here. It means that we know and we are trying to stand with you. Mozambique, we are standing with you. Sudan, we are standing with you. DRC, we weep with you. We can see you and we know. So I want us to just hold a moment of silence for our people from all these countries, please, as we proceed. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. Every day our hearts are taught to love more, and we should embrace it and accept it. And I thank you for the lessons. May I ask that the second question, yes, and if we have a third and a fourth comment, if you can move closer to the microphone, it's easier. So we have her with the second. We had a sister here with the third. And we have fourth. Okay, second, please, let's go.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Marie Justine Mutawazi, and I'm here part of a delegation apparently from Rwanda, but we all live here in South Africa, and it pains me to speak about the country that I was never born in a country that does not want me. And I know many of you have heard beautiful stories about Rwanda and how amazing it is. But as somebody who lives in the refugee community outside Rwanda, that place is not a home. Even for our families that we left there, even of the people who walked down and away from the genocide, those bodies along the ways have never been able to find peace. And I specifically wanted to pose a question to Mikal. As somebody who comes from a country that you want to fight for, but is inaccessible, a home that you cannot go to, and how you can inspire us. We come from refugee communities that have been intentionally destabilized by the current government. They send people into our homes, into our marriages, into our families, to make sure that we're unable to build anything, anywhere in the world. Even now, speaking in front of you, I'm terrified, I'm shaking. And I want to know what it is that you're doing as a community of Eritreans in the diaspora, how you're able to make sure that your voice is heard, because we are silenced here.
Right.
We are silenced
Thank you.
here.
Thank you.
And I would like some encouragement.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to speak also to our sisters from Rwanda or the other refugee communities living here, that you could be silenced here, but in this room where African women sit, you are not silenced. Your voices matter, your agency matters, your pain matters, and we are listening. And many times it doesn't look like we can act or do anything immediately, because sometimes it's not possible. I want to just mention to our sisters that we can never understand your pain because you're going through your pain. But I need you to know that in our silence, when we cry for you, it's out of frustration and helplessness. All our sisters in this situation, that when we cry for you, it's out of frustrations and helplessness, but it is never out of losing hope, because we will never lose hope. So here you can stand with us. Let's cry together here. Let us speak together here. Let us embrace together here. It is difficult out there, we know. It is tougher, we know. You cannot talk there, we know. But we came here so we can embrace you and tell you African women are standing with you. It might not look like it, but we have you in our hearts. We have you in our plans. It doesn't look like there's action. We know there are very many challenges, but we have you. That's why we are here with you. Never feel that you're alone. May I ask the third comment as you reflect on this?
Hello. I am.
Thank you. Number 3.
Hello. I am Masire Brahima Lavali. I am a blind person from Sierra Leone as a delegate. I am in this room this afternoon to actually talk to Pan-African women in respect to women living with disability. I want to applaud my sister on the panel for making more disability more inclusive and lifting it up high. And we all know when it comes to disability issues, especially women, discrimination itself is a whole problem we have. And even as we gather here, we still suffer discriminations. And that is why I am saying, everybody in this room is a potential disabled person.
Yes.
We have laws, we have the UN conventions. Every year we go to UNCRPD in New York and we talk about disability issues. But yet see there are challenges. Because when you look at what women are doing, when it comes to advocacy, especially for women with disability, it's only OPDs, organizations of persons with disability, that advocate for themselves. You hardly see able women in their organization being inclusive by employing women with disability. Rather, what they do or ask, what can she do? Is she qualified? Can she do A, B, and C? So as Pan-African women, we need to change her mentality. We need to change that stereotyping. We need to change the ego we have about disability. Because all they have here know about us is these people are stubborn. But you need to try us. Be very inclusive. Yes. I believe we are not only gathering here to say we are Pan-African women and we work in solidarity. Working in solidarity means we work together, leaving no one behind, work in line with the SDGs, which says gender equality. And gender equality means you should not leave no one behind. And we are talking of SDGs. So today, I want to say a very big thank you to our coordinator and AfWID in general, who gave the opportunity for some of us to be here. But as women in general, when we go back to our country, let us know that every human being is a potential disabled person. If you are an activist, you are an advocate, you are a gender specialist, make sure you include women with disability. Because we are talking of suffering, we are talking of vulnerability. Who is more vulnerable than a woman with disability? We're talking of gender-based violence. Who suffered it the most? Women with disability do suffer double discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. I need you to know, my sister, that AfWID is leading the way by how AfWID mobilizes. That AfWID would not happen if women with disabilities are not represented. That AfWID does not stop if a woman has to be pushed on a wheelchair and come with a minder. That AfWID does not stop if a woman is visually impaired and has to have somebody walk with her. AfWID goes the stretch and says, come with the minder. Come with the one who's walking with you. Be with the person who is with you. I thank you, my sister. Many disabilities are visible, but more are invisible. AfWID looks into all that and brings all that in. And for that, we appreciate. Thank you for the passionate call. It's all loud and clear. We hear you. Yes. I'll take one and the last one there before we open the panel. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I will speak Arabic.
Yes.
منى شعبان من مصر. تحديدا في مصر في مكان اسمه أسوان وهو جنوب مصر. اولا انا بشكر السيده السودانيه جدا لان انا كنت قايمه بالفعل اتكلم في الجزئيه دي لان احنا في اسوان اكتر ناس حاسين باخواتنا واشقائنا السودانيات. فاحنا اسفين لو ما اتذكرش اسم السودان من اول الجلسات. انا هتكلم في نقطتين. اول حاجه اللاجئات الافريقيات وتاني حاجه هتكلم في المدافعات الحقوقيات. بالنسبه للاجئين واللاجئات هم مش بس بيتعرضوا في بلادهم للاضطهاد، لا ده اللي هم بيعانوه خلال الفتره اللي بينتقلوا فيها من بلادهم للمكان امن ليهم. بيتعرضوا لمآسي حرفيا. فالمفروض ان احنا وانا لما جيت النهارده واول مره احضر اجتماع كبير زي كده احنا مش قليلين. احنا محتاجين ان احنا نتحد ويكون عندنا صوت واحد يتكلم عننا. لما يكون في حاجة في السودان ألاقي كل أفريقيا بتناهض وكل الأماكن موجودة بتتكلم وبتسمع صوتنا خارج أفريقيا وداخل أفريقيا. ولما يكون في حاجة في موزمبيق أو في أي دولة أفريقيا لازم كل الدول تدعم وكل المنظمات الحقوقية اللي موجودة في أفريقيا تدعم بكل قوة. عشان كده لازم يكون في تواصل دائم بينا عشان نقدر ندعم ونوصل. كل ما كان في دعم وحشد للقضايا دي كل ما هيبقى ليها حلول سريعة داخل وخارج البلاد. لأنهم بيتعرضوا للبلاد اللي هم بيروحوها برضو لاضطهاد من الحكومات وقوانين بتصدر فجأة. ده بالنسبة للاجئين. بالنسبة للمدافعات الحقوقية أنا واحدة لسه في بداية مشواري في النسوية وفي الكلام عن التثقيف الجنسي والحقوق الصحة الإنجابية والجنسية. وللأسف احنا برضو بنتعرض لكمية من الإهانات والخوف والرعب ان احنا ممكن نتسجن او ان احنا ممكن نتوصم او ان اهلنا يتعرضوا لسجن او ضغط عشان نبطل نتكلم في المواضيع اللي زي دي. برضو انا شايفة ان والحل الامثل ان دايما يكون في حشد. أنا واحدة مصرية ممكن بمجرد إن أنا أتواصل مع أي منظمة يبتدي الموضوع يسمع في كل حتة ونبتدي نتكلم فيه بشكل عالمي وكل اللي يقدر يعمل حملات مناصرة، حملات مشاركة، حملات دعم. كل ده هيفرق. الحكومات فعلا بتخاف من الضغط والحشد. شكرا وأسفة لو طولت عليك.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And one of the things that I want to also bring out is that when AfWID brings women together, they get stressed and do not sleep because they are looking for how they can get women from Sudan when it's burning, get women from DRC, get women from Somalia. And so they try their best to just try and get the women. And we will keep trying. Thank you so much for that. I want one last from the lady at the back. You've been waiting for a long time.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
I'm called Yvonne Muma from Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
The way forward. Our children go and die in the ocean because the borders of Africa are tighter than those of Mexico, the Mexico before. We should advocate for a borderless Africa so that our children go across this continent to trade and to gain education. A united and stronger Africa is the future of the world. I trust and believe that this Pan-Africanist movement, with the voices of women pulled together, will bring down all the barriers of neocolonialism. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. We are this year experiencing a bit of the borderless Africa for the countries that came into South Africa without necessarily having a visa. So we are beginning to see the change is small, but the change is coming. Okay, Mama, I'll take one more from Mama there. Yes. Yes, and then I'll go back to the panel to just give me their feedback. Let me. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very much. It's on the way forward.
Yes.
We've said so many things.
Yes.
And I see them all in something that we should use as the way forward.
Yes.
And that is the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, 1325, which is also linked to the Young Women's Resolution, 2250.
Right.
And if we want to make sure that each country, as you're talking, borderless Africa, then let's not use the AU broad framework for monitoring.
I hear you.
Let's use the AU CRF, right, for monitoring and holding our government
So
accountable.
1325 combined with UNSCR 1325 combined with
2250,
2250
for young people.
So for us to action and move forward,
That's
combine 1325 and 2250
and localize it.
Thank you, my sister. What do you want to quickly say?
Okay, thank you. I speak in French. Okay. Je voulais juste apporter une précision parce qu'au début, vous aviez posé la question aux panélistes si depuis Beijing, il y avait eu de l'évolution. Est-ce que 30 ans plus tard, vous serez encore là? Je voulais juste rappeler qu'il y a eu de l'évolution. Le simple fait que nous soyons ici prouve qu'il y a eu de l'évolution. Et si vous me le permettez rapidement, en matière de l'éducation. Les filles ont accès à l'éducation. Dans certains pays, l'État a mis en place des politiques afin de scolariser les jeunes filles. C'est déjà une avancée forte. En termes de santé, de l'accès aux soins, nous parlons pour les femmes du droit à l'avortement. Il y a certains pays où nous avons dépénalisé l'avortement. C'est déjà une avancée forte. Je veux juste qu'en partant d'ici, qu'on ne se dise pas qu'on n'a pas avancé depuis Beijing. Nous avons des pays qui ont adopté des lois pour éradiquer les violences à l'égard des femmes. Il y a des pays qui ont reconnu la violence conjugale comme un droit, comme étant une violence à l'égard des femmes. Ça veut dire que même si vous êtes marié légalement et qu'on vous viole, vous pouvez porter plainte. C'est une avancée, c'est des choses qui n'existaient pas il y a quelques années. Je voudrais juste nous rappeler.
I can't do two on this side, but thank you very much. May I now come back, allow me to come back to the panel. You do realize we are 1,000 women. And you do realize we cannot have the microphone, all 1,000 of us. So we've tried to have maybe panelists. I start with you, Dar. Before you give me your 2 points of how we move forward, so that we can make Beijing plus 30 make sense, give me your thoughts from what you've gathered from the floor, and then give me your 2 points.
Ok, merci beaucoup. En ce qui concerne le Soudan, comme vous l'aviez dit tout à l'heure, on s'est levé pour pouvoir soutenir le Soudan et puis d'autres pays. Et pour ma part, personnellement, je fais un effort de pouvoir connaître tous les pays du continent. Et la première des choses que je peux pouvoir faire personnellement, c'est la prière pour tous ces pays-là. Et dans ma prière, je me mets à citer tous ces pays de 1 jusqu'à 55. Et on vous soutient, même si peut-être on n'a pas pu parler du Soudan, de la RDC et d'autres régions d'Afrique, on vous soutient en silence. Peut-être on ne le dit pas à haute voix, mais ce qui est sûr, on vous porte dans nos prières. C'est d'abord la première des choses. Et en ce qui concerne les autres interventions, comme ma sœur du Cameroun l'a dit, certes, il y a des avancées, ça c'est à féliciter. Et certaines régions d'Afrique diffèrent des autres par rapport aux avancées de Beijing. mais il y a encore des efforts à effectuer. En ce qui concerne l'éducation, il y a vraiment encore des efforts à effectuer. On peut avoir le nombre élevé, mais la qualité de l'éducation qu'on donne dans les écoles aux enfants ou encore dans les universités doit encore s'améliorer. Et pour améliorer cela, il faudrait encore l'investissement. Et en ce qui concerne l'investissement, certes, c'est une question d'argent, mais c'est surtout aussi une question de volonté. La volonté non seulement de nos gouverneurs, mais aussi de nous autres qui sont gouvernés. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you very much. And just to reaffirm, like my colleague Dan have said, we stand in solidarity with all women across the world. Regardless, and we were here to support you, and we apologize for not bringing up these key issues that affect women from Sudan, women from Congo, women from Egypt, and across all the world. Just to respond quickly to my sister from Cameroon, from Sierra Leone. When I was here, I did a little research. I went to a few people, I asked them, do you have a disability law in your country? And they're like, I'm not sure. But I think there is. Then I asked an interesting lady from Malawi. She's a person with a disability, Jovita. I asked her, do you have a disability law in your country? I said, yes, we have. This is just to tell you that we as women, there is a disconnect. And as Africans, we are continuously seeing disability as a condition and not a social inclusion issue. In the context of Africa, I must go to the doctor to get healed if I have a disability. I'm recommended to prayer houses. To a point I don't even want to go to church because it feels like as a Christian, the core essence of me being a Christian is to have faith and to believe in God, but not to get healing. But now it looks like the core reason I have to go to church is to get healed. On the aspect of human rights, we've gotten to an extent, almost all the countries in Africa now have a disability law, and we also have the AU protocol on the rights of people with disabilities, which is currently just adopted by South Africa and one other country, just 2 countries out of the 55 countries. But when it comes to the social aspect of disability, we are still seeing disability as a people, as a condition, and not a social inclusion project that we must put into all our social work. And I want to emphasize that there's a thin line between inclusion and tokenism. Most times as civil society workers, we are quick to tokenize people with disabilities. Representation alone is not enough. Because I am here as a person with a disability does not speak to every other person with a disability. It is just a representation. It is not a participation.
Yeah.
And until we are able to bring people with disabilities from all their diversities and give them the reasonable accommodation they need to participate, we are just tokenizing people with disabilities and promoting ableism. I am not a blind person. I do not relate with the issues. I can understand a fragment of it, but I do not relate the challenges a blind person faces. In Africa, we are even yet to understand that schizophrenic is a disability. Yeah. That we have mental disabilities, psychosocial disabilities, and intellectual disabilities. We are just seeing disability to be the physical aspect of disability, and this is giving us a way back.
Right.
Globally, I would like to share that the SDGs, sadly, do not have anything for people with disabilities. Regardless that the bedrock of the SDGs is on the promise of leaving no one behind. But I tell you, from poverty down to sustainable cities and the promise of good health, people with disabilities were not carried along. As until last year, until 2023, when we had the halfway report, it shows that the indicators harvested were not enough to speak to disability inclusion. So this is a call to everyone here who is programming for social inclusion, who is programming for development in Africa. People with disabilities have to come to the table. And it is not just enough to bring those with physical disabilities to the table. We have those with autism, those with intellectual disabilities, those with psychosocial disabilities, and disability is an evolving issue. Because we understand it today does not mean it is not allowed to change tomorrow. Changes will constantly come when it comes to disability inclusion. So we must be ready to move with this change. Now, the way forward for me is seeing that we as Africa are able to accept that disability is part of life. It is not a punishment from the gods. It is not an unfortunate event. Yes, it's sad to become a person with a disability, but beyond just having the policies, we must make structures available for people when they become persons with disability. It is not disability that kills people when they become disabled. It is the mindset of what the society is going to see them going forward. So beyond policies, we must make available structures. We must embrace a new mindset to see that disability is part of life, just the way death is part of life. And when it happens, we must be structurally ready to accept and incorporate people with disabilities in our society. Lastly, for me, investing in data. I will never overemphasize on the need to have data. Yes. In Nigeria, there is a commission for persons with disabilities. And one day I went there, I said, how come we are not involving those with intellectual disabilities and other forms of psych? And they said, there are not many. This is a government agency. And I asked them, do you have the data? And they said, no, we don't have the data. And I asked, how then are you sure there are not many? So we need to invest in data. If you are here, you are working with an OPD, this is a call for you to invest in data. We need this data to show the UN. We need this data to be able to tell the world that these people exist and they have rights, and also their rights are part of the human rights. And I leave you with this word: disability rights are human rights.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Miko, thank you.
Yes, I want to echo the panelists' calls as well for Sudan. I want to say that as an Eritrean, Sudan has had a very close relationship with Eritrea since dating back to independence days, has accepted many Eritrean refugees, and to see what Sudan has been going through has been extremely heartbreaking. So again, I think thinking about approaching this panel, I know that I'm educating many people on Eritrea for the first time, and that was the focus of my presentation to this panel, but I also do want to extend heartfelt solidarity to Sudan as well. So going back to my intro as a storyteller, I think that storytelling is really transformational. And again, I think it's kind of basic. I think especially for Africa, we're always taught our art is so beautiful. People are always interested in our culture and our music. But again, I speak of this as someone who comes from a country where there is complete censorship. And so today, Vanessa Tahaya, who's the founder of One Day Siom, is sitting in the audience. And as someone who grew up anti-government for Eritrea, this is also speaking to the young lady who asked the question from Rwanda about organizing in refugee communities. I did not have anyone to speak to about my sentiments about the government. Similarly, with the Eritrean government, a lot of cultural events are tied to the government. And because we got independence in '91, it was a new nation. It's very, when you're in the diaspora and you want to go to a cultural event, you're going to go to the government event, basically. And we're a very small country. And I think also a lot of people gave the government the benefit of the doubt. Despite the extreme censorship, people being forcibly disappeared, with African nations, you're thinking, oh, it's a young country, maybe things will change, who knows what the politicians are thinking. Now, well over 30 years later, we can say definitively that this dictatorship does not have the will of the people at heart. But as someone who grew up anti-government and did not have a platform or a community to speak to, it was really difficult. And I was very blessed to have an aunt who exposed me to diaspora media, again, storytelling, such as asmarino.com or awate.com. These are diaspora outlets that talked openly about the qualms against the government. And I think it's so powerful that Eritreans, despite all of the anguish and unspeakable terror that they go through at the hands of their own government, when they leave Eritrea, they know the power of the media. I do not take for granted this platform right now to be able to speak on my country's history, because people from Eritrea do not have this privilege. And I really want to emphasize that. And for anyone who's interested in learning more, This is coming from a diaspora voice. I'm sure someone who came from the country, including people from my delegation here, would be more than happy to speak from their experiences, from the experiences of people that they have interacted with. But storytelling is powerful, and I want to also give concrete examples with One Day Siom, the youth-led organization. It is named after Siom Tahaya, who's one of the journalists who was imprisoned when the government shut down the free press in 2001. So to put a name to the organization, One Day Siom, it started as Vanessa advocating for her uncle, but it really speaks to a whole, not even generations, plural, of Eritreans who are being forcibly disappeared for practicing the wrong religion, for saying any type of, anything that is perceived as critique of the government, for trying to evade mandatory military conscription where they're not even being paid a livable wage. The conditions in the country are just really beyond comprehension and beyond what I'm able to express on this stage today. And I also want to highlight Siham Ali Abdu as well. She's an Eritrean American who was imprisoned at 15 years old. And I don't highlight her to say that her life matters more because she's an American. I highlight her story because One Day Siom, we've highlighted her because she was born in California, just like myself. She was born in 1997, just like myself. The only difference between me and Siham is she went back to Eritrea and she had to pay the price for what her father did. Her father was a politician. She tried to flee the country and she's been imprisoned since she was 15 years old. We have not seen or heard from her since. She and I are now both 27 years old. So this is really the reality of what we're seeing in Eritrea. People across the country are experiencing this, but as we've all been discussing, whatever human rights are being violated, it's that much more severe for the women and girls who are in the country. So I really want to leave that with you all today. I'm really honored, again, to be representing Eritrea and to be able to emphasize the importance of storytelling and freedom of expression. To my fellow migrant communities, such as those from Rwanda, Sudan, the Horn of Africa, we have so much conflict. Also other countries around the continent that are having a lot of people leave the country. Never underestimate the power of your voice and your story.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Chando.
Great. So for me, just two things that I'd like to highlight. One which I touched on briefly earlier, but I just want to elaborate a bit further. Today is really about collectively locating where our revolution lies. And I said it lies in three places: family, community, and sense of communal cause. And I want to just unpack that a little bit. When I speak about revolution lying in families, I mean that there has to be an intentional commitment for us to rebuild African families. And part of that means re-establishing the relationship between different members of the family, because that structure and that relationship has been broken. And the internet and capitalism has capitalized on it. So we now spend our time watching content where men intentionally disrespect women to such an extent that marriages are on the decline and people no longer even see a reason to commit to one another. And so it's important for us to understand that colonization has thrived off of dismembering families. And so the revolution lies in doing the exact opposite of what was imposed on us. It also means that we need in families to re-establish the role of women, which goes beyond her womb and her private parts. Women have always been a respectable part of the African family. They have always labored, they've been part of the economy, and that has to be re-established. The respect of women in our communities must be re-established. I want to then go on to communities, our African and Black communities as a whole. What we have been subjected to, folks, for hundreds of years is something called begging bowl syndrome. Ever since colonizers have come here, they created a system of valuing human beings that suggests that the farther you are away from whiteness and male identity and heteronormativity, the farther you are from being a human being. And the farther you are, the more you can be abused and sometimes even killed. And so what we need to do as a society is to stop this thing of waiting for a political system or a government to evaluate what your value is as a human being. What we did in South Africa is that we changed the identity of the people who gave us our value, but we did not spend any time assessing our own value and establishing our value as human beings. That is why we are being abused by people who look just like us. We must be committed to valuing and giving value to ourselves as human beings. Black women, you have been critical to colonization being able to progress, and I'll tell you why. Black women were deliberately told they could not go to school, they could not go outside of the reserves or the Bantu stands, because you, yourself, without doing anything, you represent progress. You represent the sustenance of Black African persons. The more Black women would follow their husbands into the cities, the more irritated colonizers would be, because they knew that Black families would be stabilized by your presence. Therefore, we must be committed to revitalizing our families. Finally, we must look at communal cause and understanding what our role is in that community as an individual. It's to say, what is the community striving to achieve, and who am I and what role am I trying to play? In other words, we must consolidate, which means gathering like this. Then we must delegate who does what, when, and how. And you must all understand, you are not all going to be president. You are not all going to be ministers. You are not all going to be on TV. Play your role and play it well. Then, once you understand your assignment as an individual, you execute. And on that note, since we are consolidated here, I am delegating through you. I am delegating for AfWID and other women leaders here to call a meeting and a gathering of young African women across the African country, where we will discuss our own unique issues as the new vanguard. Because whether we like it or not, the people who are in leadership now won't be there in 10 years or 20 years. It will be us, whether we like it or not. And it's time for us to plan and to prepare and to be ready. And for us young people in this room, don't wait to be given resources and opportunities to do things. Use technology responsibly. Use spaces like this responsibly. We are no longer organizing to survive. Now we organize to thrive.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. أنا هكمل وهبني على اللي قالوه زمايلي. مش هحب أكرر حاجة من هم قالوها. إحنا قارة عندنا مشكلات لها علاقة بالاستعمار ولها علاقة بالذكورية ولها علاقة بالرأسمالية والصراعات اللي بتحيطنا من كل مكان. ولكن أنا من خطابات
Just a minute. Our interpreters, are we good? Yes, please. Should we go ahead? Interpreters, should we go ahead?
Okay.
Yes, now we can hear you. Please proceed.
Okay.
Or you can't hear the floor?
Okay. Okay. ولكن أنا حابة أكد على نقطة مهمة جدا حسيتها واستشعرتها من أحاديثنا النهاردة كلنا، وهي فكرة تقاطعية القضايا اللي احنا كلنا مهتمين ومعنيين بيها. أوكي؟ بصحتنا النفسية وقدرتنا على إن احنا نكمل وإن احنا نقدر ندفع في القضايا اللي احنا مهتمين بيها، خاصة لما أختنا من رواندا اتكلمت عن مشاعرها إن هي من بلد ومن بلد تانية. فأنا فكرت في فكرة المساحات الصديقة للنساء، وإزاي إحنا مفروض إحنا كأدفوكيتور ومناصرين لقضايا النساء نهتم بصحتنا النفسية، لأن إحنا معنيين بقضايا كتير جدا، عندنا هموم كتيرة جدا ولازم نهتم بالصحة والرفاهة النفسية. تاني حاجة بخصوص اختنا الفاضله من السودان، احنا من اليوم الاول يمكن النقاش ما جابناش ان احنا نتكلم عن قضايا السودان، لكن كل القضايا المسلحه والنزاع والحروب في المنطقه تعنينا ومعنيين بيها جدا، ويعني اشتغلنا عليها زي ما قالت زميلتنا منى من أسوان. من اليوم الأول كنا الفرونت لاين، كنا في الخط الأمامي، بنتكلم، بنعلي الصوت، بنتكلم مع الآليات الدولية، بنعمل حملات مناصرة على قد إمكانياتنا في المستويات المحلية، بنشوف مع إخواتنا في السودان إزاي ممكن نساعد في الدعم النفسي، إزاي ممكن نساعد في وجود مأوى لإخواتنا اللي جايين من السودان. فأبدا أبدا القضايا مش غايبة عننا أو على أجندتنا أو على بالنا، بل بالعكس إحنا معنيين بيها لأقصى درجة. ومش بس السودان، أنا كعربية بتكلم كمان عن غزة وما يحدث في غزة، ومعنيين بكل الصراع اللي بيحيط بينا وبيأثر على قضايانا، والنظم الذكورية اللي بتستغل حيطتنا أو إن إحنا محيطين بالصراع وبتزيد أكتر في القمع علينا وفي العنف ضدنا والعنف الجنسي في النزاع، وكل القضايا اللي بتخلينا أكتر تاني وتاني أقول إن إحنا بنبقى مضغوطين لدرجة إن إحنا محتاجين مكان زي كده نفرغ عن مشاعرنا. بل بالعكس أنا مبسوطة جدا إن أنا سمعت مشاعر كتيرة النهاردة، وسمعت خطابات مختلفة ومشاعر نفسية وحاجات لها علاقة بمطالب إن إحنا نحس إن إحنا مسموعين ومتحدين. فأنا بقترح إن إحنا ممكن على هامش المنتدى نطلع مانيفستو نتخيل، لأن التخيل هو نوع من أنواع النجاح الجماعية. إيه اللي إحنا عايزين نشوفه في القارة من حقوق، من حريات، الشكل اللي إحنا عايزين عليه تكون أوضاع النساء في القارة الأفريقية، أوضاع ذوات الاحتياجات الخاصة، أوضاع اللاجئين والمهاجرين. ونكتب، ممكن يبقى في ايميل او نبقى في بلاتفورم نكتب كل حد هو حابب يشوف ايه، ونشوف ازاي بعيدا عن الاليات الدوليه وبعيدا عن بيجين وال 12 معيار وبعيدا عن السيستماتيك، احنا ازاي ممكن نتضامن سويا، وازاي ممكن نشتغل على القضايا دي بشكل موحد وبشكل يرفع صوتنا بشكل أكبر ويعبر عن هويتنا، بعيداً عن النظريات الغربية وبعيداً عن نظرية الفيمينيزم النسوية الغربية وبعيداً عن الكلاشيهات والتابوهات اللي بنتحط فيها، ومفروض إن إحنا نفولو إت. فأنا شايفة إن دي فرصة كويسة، تجمع كبير جداً من نساء من كل القارة الأفريقية، إن إحنا نكتب اور صوت، نتخيل شكل العالم النسوي اللي إحنا عايزين. لأن أصلاً النسوية، مقاومة الاستعمار ومقاومة الذكورية والنظم الأبوية، فهي في حد ذاتها قضية نسوية. فإحنا لازم نفكر إحنا عايزين نشوف القارة إزاي. عايزين نراجع بيجين، نلغي بيجين خالص ونتخيل بيجين جديد نكتبه إحنا، بيجين لمنطقة القارة الأفريقية نكتبه إحنا، مش مفروض علينا بيراعي قضايانا وتقاطعاتنا. فنتخيل ونكتب، ويمكن نطلع بوثيقة من المؤتمر ده تعبر عننا وعن ذاتنا وعن أحلامنا وعن اللي عايزين نشوفه في القارة. مش هزود أكتر من كده. شكرا.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The panel has finished. I can't take any more from the floor. But I stand up as we wrap up this afternoon. We can't take any more because the panel has finished. So if I take one, I'll have to take more. And I ask that you be with me and agree with me as we call on to the mother. This has been a very important session, a very important conversation that must continue in the next 3 days. And because it is important, we will call on to the mother. Yelele! Mama yelele! Yelele! Mama yelele! Yelele! Africa yelele! Yelele! Africa yelele! My mother Wahukara tells us that African women will no longer die for Africa. They will live for Africa.
And I agree. She says it is enough that African women have died for Africa for many years. Now African women must live for Africa. And so when you see me putting my foot down, amidst the pain we have shared today, I say African women must live for Africa. African women must live for Africa. And so when you see a panel of young people here, so fired up in what they do, trying the much they can amidst everything else, to try and make sense out of it all and change the trajectory for our countries. We support them. We support them. We stand with them. Because my mother Wahukara says the center must hold. And the center is the woman. So my mother says, Mildred, the center must hold. And today I want to tell you, my beloved sisters, we might have forgotten. We did not mention. We might have failed. We might have not done it well, but the center must hold. I'm here to tell you we might be in pain. We might look like we are alone, but the center must hold. We might not have all the answers. We might not even know how to hold in solidarity. But the center must hold. The African woman must hold. The center must hold. The African woman must keep standing. The African woman must keep looking at each other in all our strangeness and differences and say, you're still my sister. Because the center must hold. The center must hold. The problems will not end. They did not start yesterday. They will not end tomorrow. Exactly. But the center must hold. And so I want to tell you as we finish this session, my beloved. Yelele, mama yelele, mama yelele, mama yelele. Yelele, mama yelele, mama yelele, mama yelele. The center must hold. Because the African women are there. Your house does not fall apart and you're there. The center must hold because the mothers are here. The center must hold. The wars are raging, but the center must hold. That African women must still hang on to each other and say, let's find a way. The center must hold. Because if the center does not hold, everything collapses. My beloveds, the center must hold. My dearest, my young leaders, the center must hold. You picked the mantle here from the legends. You said thank you to the legends. The center must hold. It doesn't matter how far or how different or how diverse, the center must hold. I want to thank and appreciate all of you. I am... Okay, could you just give her the microphone because she really needs to say something? Yes, please, if you don't mind, the team, thank you. Please make it short because we are now just trying to wrap up. Thank you. Just one, not two, just one. Okay? Here, just one, please, if I may. Remember, I told you we are 1,000. If we all talk, we will live here next year in July. Okay, let's go.
Buenas tardes. Hablo en nombre de las mujeres saharauis.
Please wait. Interpreters, are we good?
Spanish.
Spanish?
Yes.
She's speaking in Spanish. Are we good?
Yes, I speak in Spanish.
Okay.
I have a translator.
Yeah.
Hablo de las mujeres saharauis. Somos mujeres africanas. Y confirmando lo que estaba diciendo mi hermana, mi amiga, las mujeres africanas no vamos a morir. Porque nosotras, las mujeres saharauis, una de las experiencias de las mujeres africanas, cuando no hemos muerto porque hemos sido bombardeadas con napalm y fósforo blanco. Hemos tenido que ser desplazadas. hemos nacido a raíz de todas las epidemias. Aquí hay 2 chicas de las que tienen cierta discapacidad precisamente debido a las atrocidades que recibieron las madres en estado de gestación. Seguimos refugiadas, pero hemos convertido ese refugio en un estado libre, independiente, en que toda mujer goza de la dignidad humana y prevalece su valor por encima porque tiene derecho a la educación. De la delegación somos 15, 14 son graduadas de estudios a través de ayudas de otros países. Tienen derecho a la salud, tienen derecho a la participación. 43% del Parlamento son mujeres. Cumplimos con la agenda africana, más del 35% en la gestión. Los estados locales, los estados de base, al 100% las gestoras son mujeres saharauis. Este es un ejemplo de las mujeres africanas. Pero este es un espacio para que seamos hermanas, para que nos apoyamos mutuamente, para que nos desligamos, nos desmarcamos de lo que hacen los dictadores, de lo que hacen la imposición de los estados, que nos exterminan, que nos hacen desaparecer. Y por lo tanto, el secreto está en el diálogo, en escucharnos mutuamente y ver los argumentos, ver lo que realmente y las razones que esgrimimos para poder coexistir, porque la coexistencia es el diálogo desde el supuesto de la religión, desde el supuesto del valor del derecho humano, desde el valor de lo que garantizan todas las convenciones.
May I respectfully cut you short?
Derecho de los
Thank
pueblos,
you, my sister.
derecho de las mujeres.
Thank you,
y
my
la-
sister. Thank you, my sister. Thank you, and I want to repeat to the women of Sahrawi that AfWID never forgets you, and that's why AfWID must see you here. So if there's anything that you need to see to understand that AfWID never forgets, this is because we are all here. So I want to thank you very much, beloved. I want to appreciate this magnificent panel, please. A big clap for this magnificent panel. When we see the young people fired up to take up the mantle and do the work, then we are grateful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we want to wrap up the day, but with a report, I think, from the Secretariat. And we will take it up from there. And for me, Mildred, I say, a luta continua. A luta continua. A luta continua. A luta continua. Thank you.
Please remind the women, if you haven't had a chance to speak, you are having your regional meetings on Thursday. You are reporting back to the panel on Friday.
Hello, may I remind you, women, especially the comments we want to give, you're going to have your regional meetings tomorrow on Thursday, and you will report back to your panels on Friday here. So there's going to be more room from your regional meetings to share all these things. All right? Then we have more time there in the regional meetings. Thank you so much. Thank you. Saida, do we have an announcement maybe? Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, you're using the podium? Okay. Oh, Jennifer, you are amazing. Keep doing that. Thank you. Keep doing that. Can I hug you? Wait a minute. Keep doing that. Don't stop. Keep doing it. Mika, it's huge. It's big. Caring.
My job is boring. Afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Have you got your scarf? That's your chain of solidarity. When you see a woman after today, anywhere in the world with this scarf, what do you know? She's AfWID. So this is another symbol that should connect us throughout. I know it's late. Give me just 10 minutes, please. My job is very boring. I'm not as firebrand as the amazing young women that were here. But my job is just to remind you of how beautiful the next 3 days are going to be. You are here, you made it. All 55 African countries are here at Birchwood for a week. All of you, you made it because you're the one who packed the bags. You're the one who struggled to find a visa. You're the ones who struggled to dodge bullets at an airport to get on a plane and be here. We commend you. As I said, my job is very boring but brief. Just to remind you that all of us have the program in our bags. Okay. Mildred, you must do your job. You are fired.
Hello, please, may we just listen? May we give time to this announcement?
Okay. Very briefly, just remember that this is your program, and it's got the theme of the dialogue. And that theme is important for us as the Secretariat because it says women's voice and power as agents of change. So what you are doing now here was exactly that. This is your agenda, this is your space. If there's an issue that you want discussed, you stand up like the lady did and you do it. When we say you own the space, we mean it 100%. So thank you for raising the issues that are important to you. We are on Tuesday, so you all have the book. If you want, you can go to Wednesday, just so that you remember where we are. It's going to be a long week, but a very exciting week.
Please look into your programs. This is very important announcement for you. Please look into your programs.
On Wednesday, after breakfast in the morning, you need translation.
Interpretation, are we still there? We need to have these announcements, very important. Please, interpretation. Thank you. Please, can we sit and just listen to these important announcements?
Thank you. So on Wednesday after breakfast, we don't come here. There are 6 parallel workshops where we need you to further debate all of the issues under those themes. Most of the themes on Wednesday tomorrow, you started touching on them. The first one, it's about yearning for home. We are interrogating and reflecting on the issues of displacement in this continent in all its entirety. So if you have a passion about that in your program, you'll know where to go. Please be there at 9 o'clock. The second one, it's about what will it take for peace to reign in this continent? I need not say more. You've already raised the issues. Go in that session because we are also looking for solutions. We don't just want to raise them, but we want your wisdom to give us, all of us, how to deal with the issues. The third one, it's a conversation on the African women's movement. Is it fit for purpose? It's good to criticize and reflect on others, but we are the movement. Is it working? And where it's not, let's strengthen it. Where it's working, let's harness it so we don't lose it. You are the African women's movement. The fourth one excites me a lot because it talks about food sovereignty. The guardians of the land, seeds, and ecology. These are the women who make their own food, who toil their lands and feed others and themselves and make money. They are going to tell you their stories and also learn from you, and you share nuggets on how to keep feeding the nation the right way. And you remember what's the wrong way. The fifth one talks about the economy. Is the system that we have really getting women to thrive in the economy? If not, you tell us how to do that. The last one continues from this panel, and I think this firebrand will be in there. We now say we have made history as one of the 5 continents on this world. When we met in Beijing, we were one of the 5 continents, and African women showed up in a big way. Today was the first time on this continent that we acknowledge the legends that were in Beijing. You've made history. We therefore want to use the side event tomorrow for you to thoroughly reflect on how far your own countries have come on those 12 critical areas of concern and set out the agenda for the next decade. Please don't let other people set the agenda for you. So you set out the agenda tomorrow, and we hopefully will take that declaration. Those who are going to CSW next month will take your message there so that Africa's voice again is heard on a global stage. Remember, those that went to Beijing know that out of those 12 critical areas of action, 4 came from the African continent. So big up to you. So you are using this platform tomorrow now to consolidate your reflection, but your what do you want, not to be told by others. So that's tomorrow. That's exciting, I think. So we all go our separate ways. After lunch, we are back here. Each of those groups will tell us what were the discussions so that you hear, and then you can talk on those issues. Then we are on Thursday.
Hello, please let us listen. Please let us listen.
Okay.
Let us listen, thank you.
Then on Thursday, by then I think you are very tired. And you'll see that at the end of each day, we've got free time and networking. We are here to know each other and to network, remember? So we will love to see you network. And big up to the market outside. Please support them. Those women are doing their best, so let's buy. So Thursday, it's exciting. It's a set of 13 workshops in the morning. From 9 to 11, they are listed in the book. They last only 2 hours. No difficult intellectual talking there. The one class, it's about how to communicate with beads. You'll be sitting on the floor with beads and beading and knowing how to do this linear, which was also done by women who beads. So if you are excited about beads, go there. The second one, or many, would be about the African dance rhythm. There's no talking there. The girl is going to show you how to use what your mama gave you, how to move your body parts and learn to dance in a way that you are proud of yourself. There'll be a class on AI 101. AI is upon us. Technology is upon us. The 4th industrial revolution is here. Do we all know what is AI and what to do with it and how to be responsible? Basics. There's a class on computer literacy. If you've never touched a computer or you want to know more, go in there. There'll be a computer. You'll be taught how to type, how to write your name, and do anything you wanted to do. And the day goes with many, many workshops. There's a discussion on creative writing. There's a documentary on the Umoja village in Kenya, the only female village that we know of. They'll be showing you a documentary and how they do it. But there'll be one room where I think all of us are going tomorrow, on Thursday, because we are tired. There'll be 10 ladies in that room with 10 chairs. Every 15 minutes, we will change. The ladies do nothing but give you a head, neck massage, and a hand massage, just to say we love you, and you are here. So check where that room is tomorrow so you can just get that bead of love, that therapy to say, yes, I'm tired, I've been here. That is Thursday for you. So the 13 go in the morning from 9 to 11. It's tea time and they repeat so that you can choose 2. If you didn't go to massage in the morning, you can go after 2. The afternoon, I think, was announced. We encourage you to go into your regions and again talk about the issues that you were raising. But it's important on Thursday to go to your region, because whatever message you craft in that meeting with your sisters, you take it to the next day where we're closing and saying goodbye, and you can read that message to the world. So that is your week. We end on Friday around 11 so that we can pack our bags and go home. But we simply will be saying so long because we know we'll be meeting each other again. We thought it's important to just give you the taste so that you are excited about what's coming, and let's keep the solidarity chain going. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Beloved, please leave these on your seats. Please leave these on your seats because they really need them, and we need them tomorrow and the days to follow. Please just leave them on your seats. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.